to get a news update, my brother Tunto Spoon. You want to know what is happening, my brother Tunto Spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just Tunto Spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. If you eat Kepa, gradually, my brother Tunto Spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You wanna get a news update, Tunto Spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today? Spoon TV. Yes, what you got today? Spoon TV. Spoon Ba-da-ba-di-ba-di-ba. Spoon Skiddy-biddy-biddy-da-ba-do. Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment. Kua. Bese kua, kudileo. Kudileo. Tunto Spoon. Yes, I Tunto Spoon. Yes, I Spoon television. Yes, I
Yes, today is the day the Lord has made. Yes. And we rejoice and be glad in it. Yes. The psalmist says in Psalm 115, verse 1, he says, not unto us, but unto you, O God, need all glory and honor. Yes. So we stand today, and we're here to confess that we believe and we have lived all the promises in the Bible. Amen. All the promises in the Bible. Amen. He said that he will walk with us to the valley of the shadow of death. Yes, he told us that he will be with us in the lion's den. He told us he will be with us in the fiery furnace. Oh, he told us he will be with us to the stormy seas. And indeed, we are witnesses today that God is great. God is great. And every word he said in the Bible, they will come to pass. So we come here today, like you see, you witnesses to God's goodness, God's might, God's wonders, God's miracles. So we're here today to glorify God, to honor him, and to confess that God is still God. The God of yesterday, the God of ancient times, is still the God of today. And he will never be defeated. Evil will never survive. You may prosper, you may look big and mighty, but our almighty God will cut you down. That's what the Bible says. I didn't say so. In Psalm 92, that's what he said. He said, when you see the evil and the wicked prospering, don't be small-minded and believe that it will be forevermore. God is making them to prosper so that when he cut them off, they will be cut off forevermore. You will look for them and you will see them no more. So we come today to say thanks to God. We say thank you to God. We say thank you to God. We say thank you to God. We say we trust you, Father. We trust you. We trust you. Oh, Father, we thank you in a special way. In a special way. We say thank you to people all over the world. I mean, these people have created a global platform platform for us. A global platform for us.
Amen.
And there were people of all races praying for us. And God has answered the prayers.
Yes.
We say thank you.
Thank you.
God has made it so that people brought us water to drink every day. Every day we have water to drink. We have food to eat. Our enemies, those who saw themselves as servants of the conspirators, they became our friends, very good friends, and they were serving us.
Okay.
Very good friends. God is good.
Okay.
So we say to all those people, families, friends, people we know, people we have not seen, people we don't know, we tell them thank you. God will bless them.
Amen.
God will bless their lifeline.
Amen.
For standing for truth, for believing in truth, without even knowing us. So we say thank you to them. We say God bless them. God prosper them in a special way, in a very special way, to the lawyers. The last time I saw the court document, I had 34 lawyers as my defense counsel. And they had to tell them, don't let it be so. Young lawyers, old lawyers, they put their reputation, their professional career on the line to say, we don't believe that you or any of your family members would have done it. And they were vindicated. They were vindicated by the governor of Liberia pathologist, who said he saw DNA, a foreign DNA, but he threw it away.
Yeah.
We are vindicated. We are vindicated by him. He proved our case.
Amen.
Through his life, he proved our case.
Yeah.
You will see DNA, you will discard it. Those are his words, they in the court record.
Okay.
It's not hearsay, I'm repeating here. It's not hearsay. So we say, God, we say thank you to the lawyers. Because they stood with us. They stood with us. They left their practices, their livelihoods, and they stood with us. I haven't paid them one $5 $10. But I say to the lawyers and to the civil society organization, there's a lot of pain in this country. There's a lot of injustice in this country. If they, I'm not being arrogant, but this is the fact.
Yeah.
If they can do this to me, what about the poor young man coming from Nigeria trying to make life? What happens to him inside no country when somebody just throw him in jail and forget about it? Yeah. What about somebody in Kaloke? What about somebody in Lofa? So to the civil society organization, to the lawyers, we still have work to do.
Okay.
I rejoice here today, my family rejoice, but the work is there. There's a lot of people, there are a lot of innocent persons in jail in this republic. So I say thank you to the lawyers, but I say to them, there's work to be done.
Amen.
So thanks to the members of the press, thanks to all of you. So we can tell God, thank you.
Amen.
So we praise God in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So, we tired. When the time will come, we'll let you know.
Are you not saying that
No criminal advocacy, maybe civil. Yeah. I will talk to lawyers, we come together. So all of those who are for legal aid, I mean, we have to make it meaningful. We have to make it meaningful. Of course, that goes without saying. All right.
We start by making sure those people that we bring to cabinet are people of integrity. And secondly, want to make sure that even beginning with myself, we'll declare our assets and want to make sure that this is well known. We start by making sure those people that we bring to cabinet are people of integrity. And secondly, want to make sure that even beginning with myself, we'll declare our assets and want to make sure that this is well known the purpose of coming to government to know that it's public service. And if you are not ready to serve the public, you can go elsewhere. But we want to make sure that we start on a clear note that the people of our country stood on line, they protected the votes, not to bring a team again that will do the same thing that the other people are doing or worse. So it's a clear message, declare your asset, make sure that we are prepared to audit the outgoing government so that they tell the Liberian people of their stewardship, and to make sure that we start on a footing where people know that they come to serve the public and not themselves. If they don't understand that, they actually fall where it may.
Mr. President-elect, you talked about asset declaration starting from yourself and the people who work with you, as well as the outgoing administration. How do you plan to avoid the semblance of targeting people? Because some people will say these are politically motivated to tarnish their reputation or to go against them, people from certain tribes or specific parts of the country. How do you plan to avoid this?
We are aware of that. And when we talk about auditing, it's not going to be a Liberian auditing. We want to make sure that our international partners work with us for a public tender, for competent and renowned auditing firm that will be qualified at an international level to make sure they come on board to do that. We are aware of people saying witch hunting, but I don't think it's witch hunting when you have to account for your stewardship, but it has to be done in a way that is well-established, entity with reputation, to make sure that it audits and make sure that it reports to the public the findings.
Sometimes people say that politicians make lofty promises when they are campaigning, but when it gets to governance, it becomes different. What will be different? Assuming allies of yours, family members of yours, or people who are close to you, family members, are accused of corruption during your administration, Mr. President-elect, how do you plan to tackle this specifically?
I'm not coming new to government.
Right.
Although in different positions, I ran a public corporation that was credible. And I can tell you that I come to work not with friendship. I have friends, but there is a clear line of demarcation between friendship, family, and managing. With the experience that we come with a country that celebrates 176 years, and with the life of our people living below the poverty line, I don't think we come into government again to start talking about family, to start talking about. I think we come there to make sure that we give the Liberian people hope, and I'm committed to that.
During the campaigning, you talked a lot about the country's youth, who are the majority of the population. Mr. President-elect, we know majority of them are unemployed, which some people say is a danger to the country's stability and peace. What plans do you have for the people of Liberia, especially the youth, in terms of job creation, in terms of having faith in moving the country forward? What do you have for them?
We came with a mantra that talked about, first we have a platform, and then we have an agreed platform that talks about unrest, meaning agriculture, roads, the rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. we believe these are areas in which we can jumpstart. And in those areas, we believe that our young people who are in the majority, they need to be equipped. We need to open opportunities for them to be trained and be marketable. We also have to make sure that the quality of education that will prepare them for the job market. But to do this, we have to be able to impress our partners and investors, the private sector investment, to make them feel that we are here for business, and this business, their investment will impact the young people.
Oh yes, Spoon FM, Spoon Radio, Spoon TV, Spoon Entertainment. We'd like to say welcome to another edition of the program, the late night show on Spoon. Thanks again for joining us from across the world. This is where we talk Liberia. This is where we bring you the updates. We bring you critical analysis here, and of course, provide you the space where you can be able to air your views and have your say on the national discourse. I'd like to say welcome. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. I'm Nelson Colette, and as always, we're streaming live across the internet on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. That's for Facebook. Those of you on Facebook, we are live on YouTube as well, and the YouTube handle is Spoon Talk Live. And I want to welcome you all. Thanks to all of you joining us tonight in the comment section, engaging, making your inputs, making your inputs tonight in the comment section. We appreciate you. Thanks to our folks across Radio Land, always joining us across the different frequencies in Liberia that are carrying the program. As always, we're live on Spoon FM 107.5. We're live on Fabric Radio 101.1. And thanks to our partner radio stations across the country for relaying the program. We're here again tonight. This is one edition of the program. You don't want to miss the late night politics on Spoon. This is the weekend edition of the program. And so I want to welcome you all. And kindly share the program as you come on tonight. Please share the show in your different group chats across the social media. So we have a great conversation here tonight. Well, let me go in and welcome just a few of you as we get set to start the show tonight. But first thing, let me bring on Josh Wheeler. Josh, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Nelson, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. I'm here again. Let's discuss issues. Thank you.
Oh, yes. We have our folks joining us in the comment section. I want us to recognize a few of them, and then we can come back to talk about the issues. Josh, you want to start maybe recognizing some of the folks just before?
Yeah, let me start from the top. I got Alice Ban. I got Johan G. Yanka, sorry. And I got Thomas Kume. I got Tommy Elsua. I got Christopher Yaka. He said, me waiting for Harper. I don't know what that means, but he said, I'm waiting for Harper, Maryland County. Hello, my Spoon family.
I think that was.
Yeah, I think that's what he means. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's watching.
And I see Lovett Bondo. She said, hello, my Spoon family. I see Hassan Cooper. Hassan Cooper say, following from Carwell. I see Kama Fatoma. I say, joining the Spoon Show from 12th Street Sinker. I see Daniel A. Colley. I see Jeremiah Kuna. I see Love P. Payne. I see Mohammed Bangura. I see Otis Cooper, and I see Justino Jojo H. Bestman. I see Jerry Gatawe. I see Eric McGill. I see Patrick Clark. I see Patrick. I see Patrick. I see Jimmy Doe. I see William B. Morris. I see Augustine Maccabi. I see Prince David. I see Emmanuel Gro. Come on, what the name is that? DRO. I see you there.
Yeah.
I see Nya M. Masikwa.
You say what kind of name is that? The man joining the show. That name that the man real name there. Not the
I
man
know.
AI name. They got some people who will have their burner accounts and all the kind of stuff, but that name
Yeah,
seems
definitely.
to be a real name.
So that's
But
Emmanuel Gro.
yeah. But Mobile, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you joining us tonight from that location that's becoming usual. For the past couple of days,
Exactly.
you've been joining
Yeah.
in from there. But again, it's good to have you on, Mobile. And to everyone joining us tonight, I want to welcome you. Thanks for being here. We appreciate all of you. Josh already recognized some of you, but let me just say welcome to. Okay, let me welcome to Augustine McCabe. Welcome to Prince David, Emmanuel Drew. Okay, this is the name Josh was talking about. Moses Momolu is here. Victor Morgan has joined us tonight. Sofana Yambuno is here tonight. April King has joined us. Jerry Nima Nyumpa. Jerry Nima Yimpa, the Pelican governor, is here tonight. He says he's coming on. Apparently, because he sees Josh on, he wants to come in. Shopping day. How do you call it?
Contradiction, they call it.
Yeah. Cool vibes is here tonight. Everyone may welcome you. We welcome you in a very special way. Golden Trust Group, that's our own brother, Nat BK Sasa, is here tonight. Thanks to everyone for joining us. And again, please share the program as you come on. EO White, D. Monrovia, Martha, George, and everyone, please share the program as you come on tonight. Let me bring on the Batala boy, Vakabina Maju, the Batala boy Toure. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to have you on.
Pleasure
So,
to be
guys,
on, man. Always.
Yeah,
Always good
today
to
is
be on with you
Saturday.
boys.
Yeah, today is Saturday. It's a weekend already.
I know, right?
So let's kickstart the show. Moba is joining us. He's using his phone to join us. So once he receives a call, he's gonna get kicked off and stuff like that. But let's start the show. Let's do our opening. What's on your mind? And let's start with you, Josh, and then we can go around the table, do our opening.
Look, thank you, Nelson. It's just God's own way of saying mobile should be seated somewhere else, and I be the monitor. the co moderator today. Yeah, co-moderator today. Yes, I think that's why he's going in and out. It's not because of anything else. Look, but I just want to say it's going to be a wonderful show. I think there's so much happening in Liberia that we need to talk about. I think our country is going, the economy is no longer in the toilet, it's in the septic tank, and people are suffering. People are setting themselves on fire because of suffering. We did not see this thing 2 years ago, neither 3 years ago. Somebody setting themselves on fire just for suffering.
Josh, Archie Pompon set himself ablaze under the previous administration.
Nelson, he did not set himself ablaze. He did not set himself ablaze because he could not find food.
No.
He set himself ablaze because he was protesting for salary.
Exactly.
But this guy, he does not even, guess what now? This guy does not even have a job. He's here expecting salary. So you see it? That's the thing. So it's ridiculous, for us to say it's something else. This is the worst thing that happened, This guy set himself ablaze only because he is tired of suffering. That's why I was talking about this guy from ANC who said we're tired of suffering a rally that they put on. I think there's the time to put on that rally. It will catch a lot of people. People will come to 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 join them, because I think the suffering has now doubled, and we will see a lot coming because this government
Josh,
has no
who's in the
plan.
background? Who's in the background? Who's in the background, Josh?
Nelson, you look in my background, you want to look at me. I should be the one. I should be the center of
No, but you
attention. Yeah,
exposed your background, so you giving us anyway. Anyway, conclude your close.
yeah.
Conclude your
Yeah, my opening, Nelson, not closing. Yeah, that's the thing. And people are setting themselves ablaze. And guess what? That is un-Liberian. That be realistic. It is strange. It's a strange phenomenon in our country to see people setting themselves ablaze because they are suffering. I think
Thank you.
President Bwakai needs to wake up because I think he's still asleep. He needs to do something better to make this country the country that we left it. Because I think our country is going to the dust. It's ridiculous that ordinary Liberians are feeling the pinch that they are setting themselves ablaze. This is the guy. And I just want to, if whoever has contact of this guy, please send it to me. I want to have a conversation with him and see what's going on with him because it's ridiculous. This is not Liberian. We see these things happening in other countries and we talk about them, but to happen in our country is ridiculous.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you for your opinion. Moba, do your opinion. Let's hear you. What's on your mind? And then we can start the show.
Yeah.
Raymond, welcome to the show. Jerry Yimanyimpan, the Pelican governor, welcome as well. It's good to have you guys on tonight. Yeah, Moba, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson, and thank you to our huge follower, and thank you to the panelists. Well, look, I will not dive into that, into that stuff because every government, people, things happen. To when George Weah government happen, as Mr. Pompon put himself on, like he blazed himself, he went under the car, he went there for car to walk on and stuff. But my main issue here tonight, what I want to open up is the system, Nelson. The system. I think Liberian, the government, let's say the president, they need to set out a system because half of the system that are in place today is not in the interest of the Liberian people. Half of the system, like what you see people taking huge amount of money and you see people children suffering, people getting afford to go to school. That is not a precedent. I think it should start from even the individual who making a huge amount of money. You understand? So that at least if somebody making 10,000, 15,000, look, you guys going to, because I remember it was the same issue that we all beat on the past government. We talk about, hey, we tell them like you're taking more money, the schools, the hospital, people all villages not going, children not going to school. There's no well-being. But now the same thing is happening. And we were talking, but end of the day, the president got to come out. The entire government got to come out and settle these things, or else I think that bro would not look Nelson Labrador not go nowhere because the foundation of Labrador, the only way Labrador will prosper if the people who in power put the people first and put themselves last. Meaning,
But Moba, you supported this government. You're one of those persons who canvassed on this very platform. What are you saying to the Liberian people tonight? Are you saying that you see no difference? You've seen absolutely no changes. What you canvass for, what you encourage the Liberian people to go for. Are you saying tonight that you're not seeing the changes you anticipated?
No. Like I'm coming from, like I'm not going on the politics side because I know people say, "Oh, okay. No. I'm not going on the politics side." What I mean to that, Nelson, the president out, the president making your case out, the president pushing his agenda out, he going out there telling people, "Our country."
But you're on the late night politics. You're not going to politics side.
I come in.
But Jerry, let's give Moba
let me let our president out there making the case for Liberia. Now.
No, but if what you're saying is not political, what is it then, Moba?
I'm just trying to probably say that, I just want to be real when it comes to the bread and butter issue. Because let me tell you, Nelson, government not wear 1 or 2 days, but what the people who around the president can make it happen with even 6 months. But cutting down some things, putting people places where people will be like, okay, you know what? Say I'm making 20,000, that drop it down to 5,000. The money that go to healthcare, the money that go to school in the various districts. That they come out with people who around the president, people who the president trusted to put in various position to serve the Liberian people. Nursing, I think it will be better for those people to come out and help the president to make things work. Not everything, not the president. Although the president gets executive power, but it's not in all cases you can you can carry your executive power. You got to get the people chance because at the end of the day, we will be the same people sitting right telling the Liberian people say to say Imam Bakar a dictator. Why he doing this? Why he
Thank
doing
you.
that? But the people
Thank
around
you.
here now
Bye-bye.
need to come out. Thank you.
Let's hold you there. Ture, please do your opening. Let's hear you tonight, and then we'll take
Yeah,
Raymond.
good evening to all of you. Good evening to our viewers here in the United States and around the world. Nelson, look, my attention was drawn to something very, very disturbing today. I don't know, I don't want to rush with it, but I'm just waiting to do my own research and get to the bottom line. But nevertheless, I'm hoping that that's not the case. But if it is, then obviously then that'll be another topic for another day. I guess a lot of you know exactly where I'm going with.
No, we don't know where you're going. Wait,
but man, it was something that was widely discussed on Spoon today, Nelson.
You want to leave in suspense?
You know, no, I'm not going to leave you guys in suspense. I don't like to do that. But it was something that was widely discussed on Spoon today, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you follow Spoon. But yeah, if that salary discrepancy, if that's the case, then obviously I don't know how we can give our people a break. You know, how we can actually invest in our infrastructure, how we can invest in our schools, how we can invest in the basic necessity of the need of our people, how we can do all of those things when people are getting paid the kind of money that is being speculated out there today.
Thank you.
But yeah, look, we need to do better for ourselves, and by doing better for ourselves, we'll do better for the people that we are representing, or the people whom interest that we seek, right? So yeah, and these are some of the noise that we're gonna start making pretty soon. We support that the administration, make no mistake about that. We're also not gonna sit here and see exactly actions or things that we feel will not actually get to the bottom. I mean, to the bread and butter issues or solving the bread and butter issues of our people. So
thank you.
So we're gonna wait and see, do our research, get to the bottom line, and when those things become facts, then definitely we're gonna discuss it. Thank you, Nelson.
Well, Raymond and then Jerry, Vasco and Anthony, welcome to the show, guys.
Let me begin by extending greetings to my fellow panelists. It's a shame that the ladies are not on yet. We hope they can join us. And let's have a balanced discourse.
Raymond,
and I also,
did you just say it's a shame?
Yeah, it's a shame.
Don't you think that's a strong one for the females, man?
No, it's not a strong one for the female. Nelson, life is about exerting yourself. This show is open to all. And the ladies will complain that men are taking advantage of them and they are alpha males and the likes. But when an opportunity is given, if you don't take it and utilize it, then you are part of the problem. So I'm sending this caveat out to all of our ladies. We all got things to do. I understand you got multiple roles, your mothers as well. But make it take some time out, come out here and let's discuss. We should not be all men sitting out here. I'm all about women, and I got to say as it is. But let me also extend greetings out to our following, the audience, our Liberian people for whom we come here daily. Let me speak to the issues my other panelists have been are speaking to. For me, I want to come up from the political sentiments in order to muff a think is to find solutions for Liberians for the benefit of all Liberians. It's not to put up the flag of a few political party that did nothing for our people by muffing a government who has 5 more years to right their wrongs. But it's to caution our government. Like my brother Ture said, look, we put in our resources, we put in our time, we put in our energy to ensure that this government come to rescue our people. And until that happens, they have not achieved the goal. So we want to hold your feet to the fire. During the campaign, we requested an austerity form of government where the government spending would be small on the government operations so as to save money to invest in other things like agriculture and other places so that the role of the government the services of the government can impact the ordinary people, all Liberians, not for a few government officials who were broke yesterday when the CDC was in power. Now today living an opulent lifestyle. That's not what we're here for. That's not why we took up our time daily, 2 hours daily to come up here 6 days a week. We will put a financial value to that. If we were all on our jobs making money, that's a lot of money for ourselves. It's our sacrifice we're making for Liberia, for the ordinary people. And until that happens, we will keep speaking truth to power. We'll have fear nor favor. Good thing about it, none of us here are United Partisans except for a few of us. We came on a rescue mission to rescue our people. Until that happens, the struggle continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jerry, let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And let me commend all of you for the maintenance of this show. It's been a little while that I've not interacted with many of you. But let me say this, as a government, we are setting the basis for everything we are doing. And you could see all of the 6 governance indicators reflective in the first 6, 7 months of our administration. You know, I listened to my brother Marba. I mean, there are a lot of institutional framework. You know, the way Basco president damaged this country, economic, you know, a lot of issues, you know, that we are addressing as a government. You talk about nothing changed. I mean, we talking about rebranding our country. We were here when issues of passport, international relations, and our image, everything you witnesses. I went to Korea. I was in Korea. It was under the administration of this government that you noticed that we had the issue of visa upon arrival canceled because of our passport policy. That has been instituted. And there are a lot of mechanisms in place today. You will not hear about passport fraud at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Mechanism about bringing people accountable. Basco and other people cry and call it witch hunt. You say nothing has changed. Accountability. They were saying, beat it, driver, beat it. If I beat it, you'll be worrying. No, beat it. Joe Bugger say, I'm not thinking about whether you beat it, I'm beat it. No. We'll go for you. Then you say you want to code to do what it is. So there are a lot of systems that have been instituted. The system that people damage, that George then government damage, we are putting it in place. And today, unlike the past where civil service were not taking pay 2-3 months, today, latest, except you are affected by the ongoing civil service reform. Why you notice that project get on the maybe payroll, some kind of way we don't understand you bring your payroll, then you have challenges in terms of taking pay. But when you are on a payroll and you are clear, by the time you read the 20 going to 15, 20, you understand you take your pay. You said nothing has changed. I mean, there are a lot of things that are changing. You see our international image being strengthened. You see accountability.
Harry, we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. This is just for your opening, 1 minute.
Yeah. I mean, are they trying to summarize? And, you know, okay. Let me go there. So
the next by
in 1 minute, which is not possible.
Salary payment are the achievement too.
Thank you very much.
No. I mean, there's a change though. If somebody used to take 3 months to take 1 month pay, and then every month you take your pay, that one it not change. That one you not going to change. But bro, when you're talking, it means that the people are talking about making sense to me. So y'all gotta give me a chance to Nelson.
Take 30 seconds to conclude.
Yeah, but I'm not. I was just laying the basis.
No, you can't be. Okay, thank you, Jerry.
You can get everybody 5 minutes. No, Nelson, you can get everybody 5 minutes and give me.
Honorable
diplomat. Okay. Let me take your 30 seconds.
People behavior there. Like, you know the pilot behavior.
Let me take my 30 seconds. You gave me 30 seconds. No problem. But let me conclude on the. No, listen. You said 30 seconds. I say I agree.
Yeah.
Let me conclude by saying, whatever you see happen, what are the accountability issue we are pushing? The government action is well intentioned and it remains uncompromising. It remains uncompromising. Whatever we are doing right now, except maybe like the way they used to have a drama say, Zuba, you are walking with your eyes open for nothing. And then maybe you have some level of perception. But there are a lot of things politicizing the entire country, hatred, and all these things, and reconciliatory steps have been taken. You see the level of inclusivity in our government. So, except people can come and raise specific issues, then we can say we have the sophistication to explain or have it simplified so that they will understand.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks,
Vasco,
Jerry. You
please,
brought
Vasco.
honesty to the discourse.
Vasco, please do your opening, and then we take Anthony next.
Thank you, Nelson. And let me say hi to you guys. You know, from the beginning of this administration, I've been saying something on this show. And I will reiterate today again. I will tell the Liberian people, the real rogues, they are in power. The sophisticated criminals, they are in power. And today, you see my brother Jerry won't go back.
So who were the unsophisticated criminals?
That's it.
No, he called them sophisticated criminals. That's CDC. That's CDC pro, but he's not calling them right name.
Nelson, you are causing the show to be disrupted, Nelson.
I'm not here.
No, guys. No, guys. Let's do this.
We're asking people questions in their opening. That's wrong.
We are engaging.
Oh, he said so. He can't fight.
There's a type of opinion that engaging me.
So is there sophisticated criminal or sophisticated criminal? What am I asking?
No, Jerry will be back on the show. Go ahead.
The real criminals in power. I mean, the ones that know how to maneuver the way when they take it son in the jet, they be better mosquito. It's sucking your blood.
Who were the unsophisticated criminals?
Listen, they don't have any unsophisticated criminal. I know the sophisticated criminal, the one I'm telling you. They are in power now. Nancy, come on, example, my brother Jerry Himpa. We go almost how many months now? Jerry says sitting in Liberia in talking about people getting a salary on time. Jerry stays sitting in Liberia and taking pay. He's supposed to be in Nigeria working. These are some of the things we're talking about. That is the reason why today you see people. Nancy, let me talk.
So in the beginning of the show, people can attack people as well.
People that attacking, I'm telling you about a sophisticated.
You know, I'm telling
you about what happening. What happening, Jerry?
You talking about salary.
We'll take out that neck gun.
You taking pay, you stay sitting in Liberia and taking pay. You're not doing our work. You're sort of being Nigeria.
You got any evidence that he taking pay in Liberia?
Paycheck?
But what?
We should not come on this show and just be spewing.
The message pay a constant. Pay a constant.
No, guys. No, guys.
Nelson is
bro. Let him opening.
No, we can't do that.
This is serious.
This is the air. You can't take words on the air and take it back. You got to check people in real time.
Raymond, Jerry is on the show. Jerry
no, but Nelson is not allowed.
We're making another round.
Play.
Yeah, okay, then you allow me after him to respond, right?
No, you can't respond to anything. You can't respond.
No, guys.
Your time reach, you will respond. This is my opinion.
Anyone can just say
this is how I
lie.
choose to do my opinion.
No, guys.
This is how I choose to do my opinion. You're giving
me Nelson, man, we can't just be spewing anything with our facts on the
Jerry
show.
is on the show.
What kind of facts you can bring? What kind of facts you can bring, Ramon? What facts you can bring? You can bring facts here.
You want us, everybody, to start interrupting the show, Nelson? Without protecting people,
guys.
Yeah, but I can go back
to Let Nelson DOA.
I want you to give me my time back.
So, guys, we can't be doing this, please. Vasco is doing his opening. Jerry spoke to some issues. Jerry's on the show. Vasco is making his opening and all of that. He goes into what Jerry said. If there's any need for clarity, Jerry is the best person to make the clarity, guys. you know Jerry, he will not hold back. Jerry will have his time. So let's give Jerry his time, and let's give Vasco his time, and then Anthony will be the last person to do his
Nelson, you
opening, and
didn't listen to
then
my issue. For
we
me,
we
it's
can go
about
ahead.
not creating chaos. You are the moderator. You check. You
But,
ask
but,
everybody.
but
Hold on now. Allow me to express myself.
Raymond, honestly speaking, at the
Allow me to
moment,
express
yeah,
myself. I'm
So
talking
so
to
yeah,
you.
so so
you are
Rima, you're
Let's
gonna
present
take
here.
over the
communicate.
show, Nelson.
No,
This
Let's
time
guys,
Raymond's
communicate.
time. You making to
no,
take over the
no,
show?
Let's
but
communicate.
guys,
I'm
guys,
protesting on
we
an issue
can.
that is fundamental to the running of the show.
Yeah, but we
You
You
can
got
gotta
do
no
this
right
listen.
on
to,
the
to,
But
to
show.
Nelson, you have
protest
to
here.
listen to it.
No,
Guys,
you
Other
can do it
than
in the
that, there
back.
will
You
be
can do it in the
chaos.
back. Nelson,
Nelson,
okay, so guys, let's
Yeah,
have a calm
let's
show.
do that in the back.
Y'all do the rest of the issue in the back. Vasco, complete your opening, please.
Thank you, Nelson. Gentlemen,
You
no
have
hard feelings.
Vasco, you have just 30 seconds to complete your opening.
Okay. And and that is the reason why today you saw what happened in the country. First in the history of our country. Okay? I know people want to make emphasis on Achi Pompom. Today, somebody trying to
No, but
take their
Vasco, it
life.
can't be first in the history of our
Nancy, let me
country.
make my opinion now.
No, but Vasco, that information is not right.
Nancy, let me give it. Y'all can't talk. Let me just say what I want to say. Okay? Today, somebody try to take their life because of hunger. Based on how these people running the country, the people listening to Spoon play major role to bring the government to power. And today, all the information we're getting coming from the same Spoon. That's how you want to tell me that.
Thank you very much.
That's how you want to tell me
Thank
that
you.
Stanton is lying on what these
Thank
people
you.
do in the country.
Thank you. Let's hold you there and finally take
Nelson, one second. I will
Nelson,
join.
see,
Nelson, I will join you guys in the show. I'm
everybody
on my way going home.
interrupted me.
Okay, yeah, sure.
When I
I
get home,
didn't
I will
even take
join.
my time. No problem. I know my
So,
brother.
Nelson,
Will take over for that.
Yeah, Jerry. You want
Nelson,
to
yeah, just 30
Jerry?
seconds. Let me, because a lot of people will leave the show and go to bed. So let's clarify this. Vasco ignorance to diplomatic processes. And, I will not blame him for that
Are you
because
taking
the government
are,
need to,
are
the
you eating like
government
paid?
say,
Are you being
you say
paid?
what?
No, but
What?
it's like you're not getting me, Jerry.
I'm hearing you now.
Okay, go ahead, make your clarity. Just 30 seconds. So we take Anthony.
Yeah. I said the ignorance of Vasco, is something that I will not blame because the government, was just dumping people. Some of the issues for which you have not experienced any major appointments from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they are trying to clean the foreign service. That's why Madam Sarah Besto Yanti and the rest of the team and the government, they are doing through the legislature. You listen to Senator Dara did on the other day about the number of persons that they dump, like they carry to New York. By the time you go to your center, you don't even report to your center. Up to present, only 63 persons we could account for as a government when we inherited all of these things. So all these things are taking place. So diplomatic processes. I'm in Monrovia because all of the processes that we should follow have not been followed. My family and I, we have not obtained our diplomatic passport.
Yeah.
Because you need an agreement. Listen, you need an agreement, which is an approbation from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And all the other processes, Vasco, they ain't used to that. They can just get ready and say, Nelson was saying to New York, why don't you go through the process? They didn't get time. There was a lawless kind of people. They didn't follow all of the
Thank you for
processes.
making that clarity. But another clarity, are you getting paid? Have you been paid?
No. If you don't go through all the processes, you're not understanding.
Quickly, guys, we have to wrap this thing up. Anthony, quickly your opening. No, Vasco, you're not coming back. No, Vasco, please. Sorry.
Good evening and good morning to our folks in Liberia. Guys, we are on the radio. A lot of people listening to us on the radio. If you have your objection, you have something to say. If the host say, wait, you wait. Let's speak one at a time. Let's give the mutual courtesy to each other on the platform. That's all we need to do. And then we'll have our opportunity to air ourselves out. And I want to, welcome Jerry, honorable. Let me put honorable to your name, my man. You earned that title, and congratulations again in a public manner. I know I spoke to you behind the scene, so I'm not here to talk about what are you getting paid. You're not getting paid. I want your own business. You're not gonna give me $5 first. Yeah, but the father of
Yeah,
the matter
but my
here,
son,
I
you must still
remain.
come, Martina, can you?
Yeah, well, hold on. I'll take care of you. We thought I was off air, and so the the fact of the matter here. Let's discuss the national issue. I hold on to my belief and still believe that this administration came into office unprepared. They gave a reward to the lawmaker $11.8 million that the president signed into law. It's a law of the land today that our lawmaker will receive it on quote unquote legislative projects. Nothing has changed since that budgets are passed into law and the president signs it into law. And if this same president who came under the mantra of fighting corruption can hold his own cabinet minister, over 900 of them have yet to declare the asset, and he also gave him $11.8 million when our national police don't have vehicle in 14 counties. That also question his decision making. And so we want to hold this government accountable for not prioritizing national security, not prioritizing the people. I don't know who he's fighting for, if he's fighting for the legislature, because if you are fighting for the people, you can't reward our lawmaker with $11.8 million when the national security is struggling for vehicles. Are you back?
Well, thank you. Thanks a lot, Anthony, for uh, that great opening. And so let's have a show. Let's have the conversation tonight. And we woke up to this information about this young man who set himself ablaze today. And this is not usual. This is very unusual. And this is something that you will not see happening ordinarily. For anyone to just set himself ablaze for whatever reason. The last time we saw something similar happen was in 2020, in November of 2020, when Archie Pompon set himself ablaze at the Temple of Justice, because at the time he was the chairman of the union, the workers' union there, and they had some grievances with respect to the workers' benefits not coming. They raised the issue repeatedly, and at a point, some of the very people who were part of the union, when Archie went silent, they felt that he had been compromised. And so the pressure, came down so hard on him to a point where then he wanted to prove a point. Then he wanted to show to the rest of the folks that, oh, I did not get anything for which you see me in conduct myself this way. He had to protest because he was also affected. Similar thing that Charles Brown and the rest of the guys did at the legislature. For them, it was just a roadblock. But Archie Pompon set himself ablaze, and it went viral, it went global, and even up to now, he's still recovering. And then another situation today, uh, allegedly because of hunger, this young man set himself ablaze, but he was being rescued. And even up to now, we will talk about the politics of these issues. We'll talk about, we will try to make analysis around why these things will happen. And sometimes it depends on where you sit. Folks who support the government will have other reasons. They will have other ways of making analysis around this particular issue. Why folks on the other side will think that is because of the underperformance of this administration. But the truth remains that this is something that should not be happening anywhere. especially where the guns are silent. People should always have the space where they can express themselves. I want us to take just a minute each because we have a lot of issues to talk on today, hoping that we can have the time. But I want us to take a minute each to make some analysis around this issue. A very young man, very energetic. Welcome to the show. I don't know how come you've been going in and coming back. Set himself at blaze. The next thing is Jerry tried to jump into this issue. We saw about a month ago that this government raised alarm on something very important. The presence of Liberians in other countries in the name of being sent by the government into foreign service. At the end of the previous administration, some of these concerns were being raised. A lot of people raised concerns about how so many people were being sent into foreign service. And those concerns were raised. But again, transition was in progress. So in terms of priority, the most important thing at the time was making sure that the transition is successful. The government takes office about 5-6 months after the administration is inducted into office. Then they start to raise concerns about the presence of people in foreign service who did not go through the legal process. The foreign minister, her representative, met with Senator Darius DeLong, and they confirmed following the meeting, when there was this media engagement, they confirmed that there are over 60 individuals in foreign service whose entry into foreign service is questionable, or those entries are questionable. He said 54 of those people did not go through the requisite vetting process. They did not. Some of them transport themselves to go into foreign service. Some of them were cronies. Some of them were family members and friends of influential people in the previous administration. And because of that, the vetting process did not go on, and they just got passport. Once you got your passport, you got a little money, you can get there, and you're into foreign service. Hoping that that administration would have won the election and everything will be stabilized. And so he said they were going to start bringing those people back within the next week. He said by next week, within 1 week. But as we speak, not one of those individuals have been brought back to the country. That's one. The second thing here is those folks have their spokesperson, and we've extended invite. The spokesperson should be coming on Monday. What the guys are saying, on the other hand, is that they were trained by the very foreign ministry. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs trained them. They went through the process. They are saying that going into foreign service is not something that your family member can just grab your hand today or tomorrow and send you there. So they're expressing disappointment over the action that's going on now, and they're saying that they will challenge it. But there are concerns. Why is it that those individuals, if indeed they did not enter into foreign service the right way, why is it that up to now those people are yet to be brought back to the country? I want us to start the conversation from here. And maybe we should start with Toure, and then we're going to take Anthony and just go around the table. I see there's a little bit of stuff here. Yeah, but let's hear you on this, Toure.
Yeah, Nelson, thank you so very much. Look, and I understand, obviously, someone can look at a situation, because I personally, I've experienced that as a supervisor now. It's hard when you come into a system where everything about that environment, was not sort of like, in terms of regulation and how, a professional environment should be like, right? It takes time for you to put all the pieces together. It takes time for you to, infatuate your own vision or how you want that area to look like, right? So I can see where this government may obviously take some total walk or maybe some slow walk into finalizing some of these institutions and stuff like that. But nevertheless, there are other stuff too that you can just come and just push a button and have those things just self-regulate themselves. Those areas are there. You don't need to go through all of that sophistication and stuff like that. But what have to do with the Foreign Service, Nelson? This is a delicate institution. It requires in-depth analysis. It requires sophistication. It requires security management and all of that stuff. Because that's the only way other countries will look at you seriously. So this is a very delicate situation, and I like the fact that the government is going through a due diligence, and in trying to regulate that area and try to make it professionalized, if you will. If we can get to the young man who said himself,
Yeah.
right? Nelson, look, let me tell you this. By just looking at that guy, and I'm not gonna speculate like many people, but I work in a social science department, and I know exactly from just looking at people when they are going through, situation. And we all know Liberia is flooded with so many situations. There are a lot of people that are going through some really hard time. You can call it poverty, you can call it hunger, you can call it whatever it is, but we cannot in any way dismiss the fact that there are mental. There are a lot of people that are going through mental disturbances in Liberia. You know what I mean? And you can attribute these things to so many things. A lot of suffering will make people to feel certain kind of way. A lot of suffering when people feel like there is absolutely no outlet to their situation, to their circumstances. They might not be on drugs, Nelson, but it could be very, very challenging in so many ways. And people are talking about this guy. He's a bright guy. From the look of things, you can definitely see he looks to be someone who's educated. But even at that, have you seen somebody walking by themselves talking nothing? And these are some of the well-landed people. I mean, circumstances do make people to be a certain kind of way, and when that thing happens, they feel like nobody is looking out for them, and the environment is not in any way promising for them to put themselves out of that situation. Then we'll see these things. But I don't want people to politicize this thing. When I keep about situation I've been announcing, if you would have gone through what you went through to even inform me that this guy was getting some kind of like a pushback from the people that he was representing, when people felt like he was being compromised, you can see, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of us didn't know that. I just got to know this from you tonight, Nelson, that the union you are representing, they actually cautioned him. They felt he was being compromised, and to show to them that no, he stayed with the course, he stayed with them, he went to the extreme to do what he did, right? And these are stuff that happen, Nelson, when people are under extreme stress. Nelson, they will do things like this. But I don't want it to be attributed to hunger. There are a lot of hungry people in our country, my brother. A lot of people that are hungry in our country. If this was because of hunger, Nelson, people are going to be setting themselves ablaze out of record. So we should not just look at this isolated situation and try to pin it on something that majority of the people are going through right now when speaking of hunger. Thank you very much.
Anthony, let's hear you.
I'm muted. Sorry. Yeah, so I'll start with the foreign service. Absolutely. Our foreign mission has a lot of challenges. I'm a victim of a Liberian foreign mission. I was treated badly by the embassy. I was treated badly even when I went to Liberia to get my own passport. when I pay for it here in Washington D.C. with my receipt. So I think the foreign minister is doing extremely well in that area, trying to restructure the foreign mission, give our country a better image out there. If you visit the Abidjan, if you see the Liberian embassy in Abidjan, you will be very frustrated how beautiful the downtown plateau is. And when you see Liberian embassy in plateau, you'll be like, hold on a second. You'll walk past it, you'll not even recognize that it's an embassy. You see the Liberian embassy in Washington D.C. Same thing. It's like a regular house. You walk past it in a residential neighborhood, you won't even realize it's an embassy. Our foreign mission has some serious challenges. You pick up the phone and call, nobody answers the phone. That's what it is. So I think Madam Beslo Yanti, she's trying her best. It will take time, like Jerry was talking about it. It will take time for them to be seated, for them to get everything. So yeah, I'm not gonna criticize that aspect of the government. They are trying a lot of challenges over there. I know my good friend Raymond always say I don't say nothing positive of the administration, but no, if the truth there, we'll talk about it. However, let's talk about the situation I have with this gentleman today. Now, see, I'm afraid to use the word called investigation. It's overrated in Liberia. Every time there is an investigation, we don't get no conclusion or results or any, accountability. Poverty in itself has a way of challenging mankind in so many different ways, like my brother Toure said. This is not just hunger, there's a lot of element underneath that, yeah, well-educated people at times would talk to themselves because, they second guess themselves and say, am I not good enough to have an opportunity to life or things of that nature? Am I not good enough to, be given a chance? Look, I put politics aside. The country is in serious mess, and we should think about how we can move our nation forward. Sometimes we come on this platform and because of our partisanship, because of our loyalty, because of our traditional tie to each other, sometimes we don't want to speak the truth because we are afraid that tomorrow when we leave the air, family member will call to us and say, man, why you talking about your uncle like that? Why you talking about anything like this? But the reality remains that poverty has the ability to, deteriorate, one's ability to rationally think for themselves. That's what poverty does to a person. It's very bad. And I hope, our lawmakers, our leaders will come to that sense that this is not about them, it's about the people. Government is of the people, by the people, and for the people. That's government for you. Not my individual pockets.
Thank you. George, just before we bring you, Raymond, and the rest of the guys in, let me play these two videos quickly. This is the first one with Archie. This is graphic, but that was about 4 years ago. He did this because someone may say the political reason or whatever the case is. And again, when Archie carried on this act, the politics was attached to it. Some people bashed the previous administration as being the hell on earth that resulted to that particular action. But I want us to take a look at this. And after 4 years, another young man. What is happening? Josh, let's hear from you. Let's get your take on this issue.
Nelson, I will be a little different from the previous speakers, and I I don't really care what people would think about my opinion on this issue. I think my opinion represents myself and myself only, not any political party, not even my closest family. This is just going to be unique to me. Here's what I think, and I'm going to start with the Foreign Service first. I think my brother Pelucan governor is still in Monrovia because this government is trying to fire those that were put in those positions by the previous government to put him in. It's just what characterized this government, but dismissing other people for no reason, just to put their people in. It's ridiculous. And we are here sitting down talking about, oh, they got to restructure the thing. These people went to school. These people were educated. These people were taught how to become how to be in the foreign service. These people graduated. Has this brother graduated from any foreign service school? He just went to Liberia. I know where he went. And we are here sitting down trying to be cosmetic about it and don't want to say the truth, because when we say the truth, it's going to make us look ugly to commenters or whoever. Let's say the truth. Let's set us free. It's ridiculous how people will come here and want to talk about, oh, it needs to be restructured. Restructure when somebody is sitting with us here who had never gone to foreign service school. I know his background. He's in development. He's not in foreign service, but guess what? He wants to get into foreign service. And then those who went to school for foreign service, who spent their time in class, who graduated, and now we say because they pay their own way to go, so they must fire them and put somebody in who does not know anything about
don't you think the government should be concerned?
This is ridiculous. It becomes policy driven.
Should be concerned about the process, because the concern the government is raising is how those people got into foreign service. The government,
Nelson, these people went to school. These people were trained by the government. These people were trained by the government to do this. They were trained by the government. We all know, they all told us they graduated from the school of foreign service in Monrovia, and they were placed on lists to go to these places. Okay, let's say somebody were overzealous and pay their own way, even though they were appointed, put in the position, and they pay their own way to go and say, I'll be reimbursed. Does that constitute any crime they have committed?
Are you admitting that there was something fundamentally wrong with the process, how they got there? Because
nothing was fundamentally wrong. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Darius DeLong, when he spoke to this issue, he said that the vetting is just one aspect. Yes, you have to be trained. There has to be a vetting process and everything. Once you are successful, it is the government that will facilitate your transportation or everything that has to do with you leaving from Liberia and going to those countries. If those people went through the process, as they are saying, why did they have to pay their own way, get their own plane tickets and everything, expecting the government to reimburse them? Why did they go on say pay? Maybe that's the question someone is asking.
Nelson, and I hate to be hypocritical about things. And maybe when people get to know me, they will admire what I do here and what I contribute to the show. There's no reason why we should window dress things when it comes to reality. We all know that foreign students are overseas that were sent by government, and these people don't even get their rent to pay it. People do not even get a stipend that was promised by the government to pay it. So when people feed themselves and say, okay, I will borrow money from my uncle who is in America, who is in Australia, to pay for my rent, when the government brings it out, reimburse it, does that constitute a crime? We have to be realistic to our national discourse. And that's why Liberia is retrogressing, because even people who should be saying the truth will leave that and shift it because they want to look good, want to be appreciated. I don't want to be appreciated. I just want to say the truth and nothing but the truth. These people are trying to eliminate other people that were employed in the civil service or foreign civil service so that they can put their people in. And that's what they are doing. That's what they are looking at. If you pay your own way to go, we'll bring you back. And you don't go the right way. Nonsense. Let me tell you, I pay my own way as a United Nations staff. I pay my own way to go home, and I will reimburse. They did not tell me that you are not coming back to the mission because you pay your own way to go. It's ridiculous, Nelson. When people sit there and want to make these things to feel as if certain things are wrong, only because they want to satisfy the aim. I don't trust Darius DeLong. Darius DeLong is just another guy who for nothing, for no reason, he has become a millionaire overnight in Liberia, who have only $2.50 in the account. He will talk any nonsense just to make sure that he is relevant. That's what he's going to do.
Listen, George. As
So,
much
so
as
Nelson, no, Nelson, listen.
you may have,
Somebody talking
as much
nonsense
as
is not an
you may
insult.
have a disagreement with the senator, he's a sitting senator. He's a national leader. You know, so let's address those people with some level of respect. Let's give them the due respect. We may have our own disagreements.
Okay. Look, Nelson.
You know, so
I'm not
I
going to
want
go
you
there
to take that back when you refer to the senator that way, George. Listen, this is about Liberia. This
on
is
the show,
about
people call other people names. We don't retract statement. I'm gonna retract statement. If you want to cross over me because I said he says nonsense, well, you can cross over me. I will give the floor. Somebody else can talk because maybe my choice of words is too hard for you to take. Because I don't think so. And I'm not going to retract that statement. I'm just going to go on and tell you, my brother, people say things because it suits their interest. These people don't say these things for any reason. They don't say it because they love Liberia. They say it because it suits that particular scene, that particular occasion to make them look relevant. That was Dillon. They lied. My foot. This thing is ridiculous, and we need to say it just like the way it should be said so that changes can happen in our country. But if we don't say anything and we want to go along with the flow, nothing's going to change in Liberia. And we'll find out that we'll come to the same place every time. We'll be calling for a president to sit down. We're calling for Jowiago or Bakago. We'll be doing all these things until we get old, and our children will come and join us and do the same thing, and we'll continue. But let me get continue because I want to move to the next thing about this guy setting himself ablaze.
Yeah, you're gonna go to the guy situation, and let me say this, Josh. We create a platform here for all of us to discuss the issues, for all of us to have a voice, for everyone to speak to the national leaders regardless of what it is. But at the end of the day, today is Senator Darius DeLong. Tomorrow it may be you, Josh. You pronounced on the show the other day that you have some intentions of coming to run in Monserrate County. I don't know if because you want to unseat Senator Darius Dillon, that's why you're very hard on him tonight. But this is the issue. It could be anyone in that seat tomorrow. We want to create an environment where regardless who's in that position, the due courtesy will be given to that person. We will have fundamental disagreement. We will have serious, disagreement with those issues with those individuals on different issues, but not getting to a point where we can insult those individuals on the public radio. Josh,
look, Nelson, that was not intended to insult anyone.
By people who are not Liberians. I just want to conclude. This show is being followed by people who are not Liberians. And come to think about it, maybe a Nigerian, an East African, or someone who is not Liberian, listening to us, and we're referring to our national leaders in a certain way. Come to think about that. If you want to take it back, well, it's up to you. If you want to maintain, that's up to you. But I want you to conclude.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, if there's going to be something that is going to continue, I retract that. He doesn't talk nonsense. I hope that satisfies your audience and you, and maybe the senator. But here's what I want to say. I say people say things only because it suits them. Mm-hmm. People are very self-serving in our society, and that has to stop. If we would sit here and allow anything to pass only because it suits our interests, guys, our country will go nowhere. We'll continue to retrogress, and other nations beside us who will be staying the truth, they will pass us. They'll come from behind and pass us. Just like
Let's find a question to you just before you go to the fire guy, and then we'll move to Raymond. Yeah. If you were in the case of the foreign minister, put yourself in that position of someone who is in that position, maybe the foreign minister or the president or whoever. You inherited a government. You realize that there are certain individuals functioning within that particular area where over which you preside or whatever, And you have some doubt over how those individuals were recruited. Josh, if you were in that position as the foreign minister, take Minister Sarah Beslo Yanti out of the picture now. What will you do? Will you keep on? Will
Nelson,
you flow with what's there? Or are you going to try to make sure that the right things are done?
Nelson, here's what I would do, and here's what any intelligent person would do. The first thing, I will not recruit people waiting to take the positions that are already seen. That is having a preemptive strike. That means I already planned it ahead that I will get rid of people. Because any investigation I will do now, that other investigation will point towards dismissing people because I already appointed people, or I already allowed the president to appoint people. If I get in that position, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on evaluation. If I evaluate all these people and I feel that maybe 20% don't suit, don't have the credential necessary to take up the position, then of course I will first dismiss them. Then I give the president the go ahead to appoint people in the position. But once I have people already appointed, come on, man, it's not a rocket science. We all went to school not because our parents have money, but because our parents want to also think more than them. You see, that's why we went to school. So if I already waiting to take the position, and then I go investigate to see who is qualified. Nelson, come on, man. We did not eat our school fee with paper color. We went to school so that we can think outside the box. But let me move on to this issue about this guy setting himself on fire. And I know people will, I will get all the bashing. And guess what? I can have the thick skin. I will take them. It's not an issue. But I get emotional. I get carried away sometimes when I talk about my country because I've traveled so much in this world. And I see a lot of progress around the world. And I think that Liberia is no different from being like these countries. But the only reason is that just like what's happening on the show, we can always say things that will make us look good, not the truth. Let's fast forward. In a few years ago, 4 years ago, or whatever years ago, a fellow by the name of Pompon. Pompon, we all know he was a political staffer at the I think
Temple of Justice.
Temple of Justice, yes, that's why he was, and he was leading this group, and they were all talking about salary discrepancy and harmonization and everything and so on. And I see people in the opposition at the time used to hype him, say, yeah, you're demonstrate. Yeah, they shouldn't call your salary. They shouldn't do this. They shouldn't do that. And this guy got carried away, and he decided he was going to set himself on fire. He did that, and then all came to an end. He lost his income because he was no longer working. So many things happened to this guy, right? And I'm sure in his thought of thoughts, he regret what he did. Because the first thing, he had an income. It was just reduced as harmonization dictates. At least he had his family, because I think I saw pictures of a family, very beautiful family he has there. And this guy was overwhelmed by this hyping people, where people can be coaching you to do things. They coax him, the English word called coax. They coax him to do those things, and he did it. And here we are today. Many years ago now, he's suffering the consequences of the action. Fast forward to this guy. This guy does not have an income. He's not working with government. He heard the word rescue, and as anyone who will understand the traditional meaning of rescue, it means to set free, to remove from oppression, to remove from anything that is treating you inhumanely. So this guy was thinking that when these people come to power, things will change for him. 7 months later, nothing has changed, and even gone to worse. I've seen so many people who used to insult me on Facebook will now come and say they are frustrated, they are discouraged. And I will tell them every time I comment on the post, go tell President Bouaka or go to the rescue mission. We don't want to listen to that. But these things happen. This guy, I'm very sorry for what has happened to him. But I think we shouldn't be doing this thing to ourselves, because guess what? When the camera stops rolling, we live our life in silence and with the regret and everything, the pain that we have inflicted on ourselves. And it's wrong. I think there's so many ways to channel that frustration than to set yourself ablaze, because now he's in pain tonight. I'm sure he cannot sleep on his back, neither on his stomach, and so many things happening to him. So I'm very sorry, but it is what it is. Don't stop laughing, man. Stop laughing. The thing is that That guy is facing excruciating pain at this moment. And I just
Thank you
pray for him.
very
I
much,
hope he
Josh. I
survives
want
that.
to hold you there. I had to mute Josh. But Raymond, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Sorry, I laughed, man. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to laugh.
I really hope we can have Jared to come back on. It's important. If it will require us calling Jared on the phone so he can make his point, we'll have to do that. Because I think he was being mentioned in this. But Raymond, go ahead. Let's hear you.
But Nelson, I hope out of fairness, you will give me the same approximately 10 minutes to speak as Josh spoke. And let me begin by saying this is the media business we're in as panelists. It's expected of us to give accurate, balanced, and credible information. We are entitled to our opinion on this show, but not our fights. And Nelson, you being the host, it's your responsibility to check us when our fight are far-fetched. We can't let it to spew out because we cannot recollect information spew out in real time on the air. So we cannot allow people to land on falsehood and then because somebody would debunk it. If I think we're not just about debating and entertainment, we are about information and to shape the narrative for the general public. Everybody don't have the opportunity. As a matter of fact, our names and face is associated with this show. So it's also our responsibility as we hold by and large society accountable to hold ourselves accountable while we on the show in real time. That was my protest. So let's go to the discussion. I want to thank Touré approach. I will begin by the fellow who allegedly burned himself. I'm saying allegedly because I've not seen the details about it. I don't know the circumstances about it. And Touré spoke like a professional into the human service, human health, mental health field. He spoke like he has some understanding. Every one of us are vulnerable to mental health at different levels. For an individual to reach a place to commit suicide, especially with something that as brutal as fire, is a level of mental health. Different circumstances can lead us to that place. We can have temporary insanity. It happens to all of us. Nobody is immune from mental health. So I'm not saying it in any way to defame him or to bring him down. That's what I'm using generally. Every one of us are vulnerable to mental health. The circumstances and the situation that will lead us varies. But the truth of the matter is Liberia is among the least developed country. We've always been. We've never changed our status from least developed country. And in a least developed country, poverty and hunger is a reality. So we can't play politics about that. Whoever become the president of Liberia will experience that. But it's upon this government to ensure that the livelihood of the ordinary Liberian improve. But this is not just about the livelihood of an ordinary Liberian. And that's where I would think we need to do some deep digging. Investigative journalists will need to find out what is the circumstances of this individual than just being an educated person. It's not suffice that he's an educated person, he can't do anything. Even someone who can become president can even suffer from mental health. What are the circumstances in his life? Look, I got a farm, and sometimes I find it difficult to get workers for my farm. So as much as there's unemployment in Liberia, but by choice, some people are unemployed because there are some opportunities. Some people don't say this is not for me. I want something better. There are people who are able to make ends meet by exerting themselves in other ways. That's not an excuse. But as we discuss these things, let's also encourage and motivate our people to be breadwinners. Look, we have of filter soil in our country. Anything that drops on our ground grows. There are vast land all around Monrovia. There are unused land. People can go ask people and make vegetable garden. There are ways people can earn. There are a lot of swamps around Monrovia. The Chinese people come there and growing crops in our swamps. When Liberians are sitting there, I lived behind 12th Street. I saw a lot of people they didn't have. And I saw the swamps around 12th Street that got water. All year round, you can grow anything there. A lot of people were not using it. It's about us. We also have the responsibility to motivate our people as much as we will hold our government accountable to provide opportunities. But everybody everywhere cannot work in every places. There are some people in America here working in warehouses. There are some people in America here as security guards. That's how they earn for themselves. There are some people in America that collect trash. That's how they earn for themselves. Liberians will have to find the thing they call dignity in labor. When you labor and earn a living, that's the dignity. We have to encourage our people as much as we urge our government to do better. Let's come to the foreign service. Look, there's something called onboarding in employment. Nobody get a letter of employment and go sit in the office right away. You have to do onboarding, orientation, training, and the likes. And it varies from one job to another. Talking about the foreign service. We all know that what happened during the link dog section of the past regime is unacceptable in any form, fashion of employment. And what was the rush? Why in the 11th hour, a massive recruitment in our foreign service? We know the past 6 years were characterized by the defaming nature of even our passports and our foreign services. You will go to foreign countries and you go interact with Liberian staffs at the foreign mission there, who will be put out of their apartments because the government will not even pay their fees for about 6 months. Irrespective of all those challenges, in a link dog session, you send so many persons and place them without even doing proper onboarding. My brother George spoke about the United Nations. He worked, he paid his own way. He was talking about going on hour and hour. He was not talking about onboarding or going to his place of assignment. It doesn't work in the United Nations where they're recruiting you to work in a place and you buy your own plane ticket and you go ahead of the onboarding process. Never happens in the United Nations. If my brother says that, that would be untrue. The United Nations have a streamlined onboarding process. Streamlined. In fact, it's done in New York here. And until the processes are completed in New York, you can't take office. So,
but Raymond, should it be of concern? Should we start to ask the critical questions or call the attention of those in charge as to why up to now we're yet to see those individuals being brought back to the country? Now, initially, it was said that within 1 week, gradually the government will start to bring those people back. If indeed those individuals did not go through the proper means, what's holding the government from bringing them back? Why has it taken over 1 month? And those people are still bearing the Liberian passport. Those people are still in the foreign service. They're still representing the interests of the country, being fully aware that they could be brought back anytime. Is Liberia or the image of the country in any way at risk here based on this delay on the part of the government? Or maybe we want to look at the plight or the concern that the workers, those in the foreign service are raising as well, that they were trained. In fact, what the foreign ministry is saying about them is not true. Let's hear you on this, and then we'll go to Vasco. Jerry will close up on this one.
So there's always authority in every given institution. And the authority is the management. And management make decisions. So if management decides, that's it. And that's why we have elections and we give legitimacy to government. So this government have the legitimacy to decide the affairs of our foreign missions. So this government decision stands. The individuals' claims and counterclaims are their assertions, but they do not have the authority to decide. And there's something called procedures, and there's something called notice in legality and even our normal days things. When you give people notice, you have to give them a reasonable time period to act on that notice. I'm not into the foreign services, so I do not know what in diplomacy what a notice and a reasonable period is. But you mentioned a month. But I know in many things, a month is a fair time to give someone a notice, especially where they are you giving them a notice to act contrary to the normal. The person was there, they were employed, they're there. But you're recalling them. You got to give them a reasonable time to adjust, to be able to act according to the new information or the new direction. So I do not know. I'm not going to pretend. But I know that there's reasonable period to give someone a notice to adhere to a giving instruction or mandate. That might be the case. That might not be the case. I don't know. I can't speak to that. Maybe my brother Jerry. Yeah. But again, not everyone in the foreign mission is a diplomat. So we should know that when we're having this discussion. There are different roles at play in the foreign mission. So not everybody have to go to the foreign school to be able to act. People play. Some
Yeah,
people
you're
are.
right on that,
Some
Raymond.
people are
That's
even journalists in foreign mission. Some people are technicians in foreign mission. So when we come here to this discourse, that's what I say sometimes having first-hand knowledge or first knowledge about things to discuss it in detail, you will make a lot of sense. But when you don't have it, you make a lot of errors, not even knowing you're making no kind of errors. It's called ignorance. That's the word. I don't mean
thank you.
that to be defaming to anybody, but I'm just speaking, in a general context. And so sometimes when we come to this disco, let's come with facts, accurate information, balanced information, and let it be credible. That will elevate and uplift this platform. But when we come with party sentiments and only have an agenda to buy mouth and do things, we're not giving the platform, we're not giving our country the service we should be doing. We are
Thank you.
representatives of our country because we are on the media, we own places that other people can access, and that's the voice of our country. So we owe it to our country when we come here and not just
Thank you
speak our
very
sentiments.
much, Raymond. Thanks a lot. Um, Alfred, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight. Let's take Vasco, and then we're gonna take Jerry and Alfred.
Yeah, let's see. On this topic, thank God you say you're trying or you're working on to see how best you can bring those guys here
Yeah,
so
they have their spokesperson.
they can
We're gonna get.
explain to us because every one of us here now we speculating. We don't know the issue. But I know we have a
No,
schooling.
but again, there are a few issues here. Why we may not have all of the details, especially as to why those individuals, why the government is still holding back. Yes, that's the point of that's the aspect on which there will be a lot of speculation even up to now.
Right.
But with respect to what the government position is, that's a fact out there. The government has said that. All right. With respect to what the government intends to do, how many people, and all of those other aspects, those are issues that are very clear as we speak. So, but you can go ahead, Vasco. Let's hear you make your point on
Yeah.
this issue.
So the whole issue of about the foreign service, there is two questions I keep asking myself. Were these people legitimate employed? Yes. I don't see anybody arguing, oh, these people, because they have an institute in Liberia. I know of the Foreign Service Institute. A lot of young people attend that institute. And there is a lady, I don't know her name. She worked during the 6 years of President Weah at that foreign ministry. She's still there. President Barker still maintained that lady. That lady is somebody that I think she got some relationship with Delone. Okay? And she know everything. She was part of the training process of these people. These people went through the process. They got their diplomatic passport. Maybe the government has a constraint in transporting them at the time. Some of them took the initiative to transport themselves. That is not a crime. So they got their job and they decided to sacrifice to go there. Now, new
No,
government,
no, but Vasco, if you were an employer,
yeah,
and you're having constraints in your company at the moment,
mm-hmm.
what is the best thing to do? Will you go about hiring more people, bringing more people on board, or you want to handle the constraints before bringing additional members on the team?
Nancy, and that is why I'm saying we are all here just speculating.
No,
Because
what we're talking about now has to do with the previous administration.
yes,
And I think that's
what
where you
I'm
come
saying.
from as
People say, I'm not calling you on nursing. People
Mhm.
saying that they already have people in the foreign services and the CDC government just took a bunch of people and just send in there. And you understand? And I don't think that's how the foreign service work. I don't think that's the way it works. You're just gonna just take people and just send them to another people country. That's what I'm saying. Thank God you want to bring this person on this show so they can clarify some of the information coming from our friends and from this government. It will be so important for us on this show to hear from both sides. Because I don't think that's how it works. I don't think so. That the people that the United Party, because I can remember the CDC just taking people out of the foreign service that was employed during the previous administration. Maybe or at the end of the CDC 6 years, maybe 5 years, going to 6 years, most of these people came back. And now they were trying to replace them. That's how they had the training process and were able to send people. We should be asking ourselves why these people are not back home. That's because the way we do things in Liberia, sometimes those foreign countries don't do it that way. If those countries feel that those people are legitimate employed and you just want to get it out, there will be some discussion.
No, but
This is
the
the
other
government.
country has nothing to do with this. It's Liberia's own
Okay,
affair.
So then I want to say it's Liberia affair.
Mhm.
So then why they are not back home? That is what I'm saying. I don't want to talk too much on this. So let's wait until you can get a guys on so they can be able to explain. But let me go to the incident today.
So just do that quickly, and then
Next thing, people talk here for long.
yeah, we are running out of time now.
10 minutes those people spoke. But when it comes to Vasco, you always want to cut me quick. You always want to cut me off quick.
Come on, Vasco,
Let
please
me
go
speak.
ahead.
Okay. The guy categories of hunger. And the one that Liberia experiencing right now is terrible.
What are the categories of hunger? What
Okay.
are the different categories of hunger?
Nancy, they get some hunger that you can be able to find means. And through your own, through other people. You can be able to find means. Like around, if I don't have it, maybe people within my neighbor.
No, but it's like George doesn't agree with you with that whole category. Because you just started talking.
I agree.
George
100% I agree.
Yes, I'm telling you, get category of homers. Check it out. So now, during the CDC administration,
this is
you see,
Vasco, the whole category of hunger thing you bring in
you're ready. Now what I can do? Anything ready to thought of.
But anyway, just conclude, Vasco.
Let me
conclude with the categories and make
Listen, what is happening in Liberia right now is terrible. You know, when we talk here, people say this and that. During our administration, when we came to power, the first thing we did, the issue of the rice, we dropped the rice price. People playing with rice in Liberia. We dropped the rice price to $13.50. because we knew our people, with all the hardship, there is something they need to hope on when it comes to the issue of the food. Before we could leave, it went to 17. Now it is 20, 21. Again, Liberia, they are losing their job. More than 7,000 people have lost their job under this administration that came to rescue. So even within your community and your own neighbors cannot scratch anymore to you. And that is the category of hunger that's in Liberia right now. Nobody can help anybody. Everybody for themselves. That is why they got local for long and say, you know what? The people said they came to rescue us. Vasco, let me learn now.
In all fairness, you're putting a spin on this thing, Vasco.
But let me learn.
You trying to tie this guy a situation to the civil servants who were not verified and who could not turn up for and they were removed from the payroll. Is that what you're trying to do?
Have you seen any document to show to us that these people were not verified? Or you couldn't hear it from people's mouth? Nancy, no, we are not stupid people. You understand?
But Vasco, have you seen any document to indicate that those people went through the legal process, contrary to what the CSA is saying? Have you equally
If you don't go through a legal process, you will not be employing government. Government had to consider something. If you don't go through legal process, you will not get paid. Okay? You need to get a bank account before you can get paid.
Thank you.
Your bank account will be registered. Let me conclude. I was still on a longer issue. You try to cut me off.
But Vasco, you have 10 seconds to conclude now. Yeah.
Okay, I got a problem. So all of the factors I just laid, that what led to this guy almost taking a life. And my brother just said it clearly. That war rescue. That war ring bells in Liberia ear. When you saw the people jumping in the poo water, jumping all over the place, that war rescue. That's why the people are looking at. At least we got people that are coming to rescue us. So if you look around, there is no hope. People try to, that won't happen. That man try to take a left because you see there is no hope in Liberia under this government. And that is what's happening now.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So 50% on the table there. 50.
I really want to have I want to get Jerry 50. On. It's very important we get Jerry on tonight.
Jerry, man.
But I go ahead.
Free pay.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No. Vasco, Jerry, I've already clarified that issue. So.
No, that one clarification there. We saw the employment letter. When they get you employment letter, what you mean? You're not employing government.
So please go ahead. Let's hear you. Alfred, please go ahead.
Gentlemen, I want to say good evening again, and Justin, thank you for having me on. I've been listening while driving on my way home. I want to say thank you, Raymond, for quite frankly articulating the issue in regards to the issue of our foreign service. I think what has happened over the years is a serious issue. Liberia diplomatic service needs a serious overhaul, and I think that what we are experiencing today is as a result of lack of overhaul. If you go back and do a serious investigation as it relates to Liberian foreign service, there are some people that were given diplomatic mission service, their time expired, they never came back to the country. They are still in those areas and serving. So one of the things that we need to do as a government is to have a serious overhaul of that system. If we want to have a very active foreign service, we need to overhaul it. And I listen to my brother Raymond, clearly laying out some of the issues that the foreign service is facing right now. I tell you what, you ask a question, Nelson, why most of these people, quote unquote, that were sent abroad by the we administration, why are they not coming home? Look, when you send people for foreign service, there are a whole lot of criteria that they have to meet. So, for example, if you do an investigation, we need to call someone here to actually explain to us exactly what's going on within the foreign service. You can send somebody on foreign service and owe them 4, 5, 6, 7 months and can't pay them and just get out one money and say, come home. How you expect a person to survive? They will always say in our Liberian balance, where you try to go, where we eat. Most of the people that are on foreign missions, and if that country is a good country that they are in, they manage their way to find employment in those countries. Because the government, our government, is not providing those necessities that is required by law to keep them active in their position. So as a result, most of the people, when you tell them come out, they go to legal means in those other countries, and sometimes they lie. They say, "Oh, my government is after me. My government is after me." They seek political asylum. So as a result, because of this issue of the UN human right, you can just go and say, "Oh, Kahun, when I'm sue to go to court and say, oh, my government after me," and the people take it seriously, he will not come back home, even though the government is not after him. But he's looking at the consequence of him coming home without anything. Mind you now, the government owe that brother past 6, 7, 8 months. They haven't even paid him. So those are the issues that need to be addressed. That's why I said we need to have a serious overhaul of our foreign service. Foreign mission is not fun. It requires money, it requires training, it requires the right kind of people. So if we just sit there and and speculate we can speculate all we want. But the issue I hear here, Brother Nelson, is that government owe most of these foreign missions. They owe too much money.
And you're right on this, Alfred, because I remember Senator Sir Joseph raised the issue. He raised the concern. Even at the point when the government started to raise concerns about, oh, the people need to come back, Senator Sir Joseph had a different position on that. His thing was, there's a need for those people who are already in the foreign service to be paid. Because he cited instances. He spoke of how some of those people reached out to him. Some of the people who are in foreign service right now, they're sleeping with friends. Their reigns have expired, and then they've been run out of their homes and stuff like that. And so some of those people have been stopping with friends. It's tough. It's very difficult. They barely afford a daily meal, especially depending on the country, on the countries that they find themselves in.
But like I was saying, look out. That's through a little analysis around our economic trend in Liberia. The government is the highest employer in the country, and even at that point, people are not taking pay on time. So if you have someone on foreign mission who has spent 4, 5, 6 years there, and you owe that man 9 months, 10 months, the first thing that comes to your mind, if I go home, I will not be able to meet my daily needs because I will not be in a position. Government not pay me. They not already pay me already. What can I do? If I in a case, the same thing that they are doing, that's what I would do. I will seek political asylum because I feel like my future is not bright. Coming back home, well, my government owe me 10 months, they can't pay me. I would not want to come back home. And that is a situation. Look, Nelson, we gotta be honest with the discussion. That is a situation that's happening in our foreign mission. We need to have an overhaul of our missions around the world and make sure people that we are sending abroad, they are well taken care of.
Thank you.
That is the issue.
I want to hold you there because we are seriously out of time now. Let me bring Jerry on. Jerry wants to make his point here on the line. He has Jerry in Liberia. They met LEC off and on. Hello, Jerry. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. It's not that in Liberia, LEC on, but I have some technical issues here at home.
Oh, okay.
But then, yeah, I mean, because a lot of people who enjoy calling at the moment. Yeah, even my calling just returned. Yeah.
Oh, no. If your current return, they can't on the screen. Don't talk to on the phone. No, if you show your current return, can't on the screen, Jerry.
I said.
They lying when I have your
other technical issues. But let me make my point. I hope everybody hearing me.
Everyone can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Exactly. Let me firstly clarify that Nelson, you know Nathaniel Beje, the Deputy Minister for Technical Services, definite, because he has not been maybe.
No, he has been confirmed. Not Beje has been confirmed.
Okay.
Confirmed along with Daniel Sando and the rest of the guys.
Yeah, he's the guy I'm replacing in Abuja. And if my brother John know about anyone who is currently the Minister Council for Press and Public Affairs in Abuja, he should call that person. Yeah, so it means that they are not taking, I'm not going to take somebody's job and want to bring them back because of that. So it means that there's a vacancy, and that my appointment comes from the Ministry of Information with the approbation of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and then you have to go through all of these processes. They've been seeing me Monrovia since I was appointed on the 21st of June, because I'm going through all of these processes, and it's very important that some of our friends just leave this mindset of party. Let them open their minds and read about some of these things. What are the processes leading to deployment? And also, I mean, I think that clarified. I'm not going to take somebody's job. There's a vacant position, at the Abuja mention. So that is very fair. Now you know not video was there.
Thank you.
And all of that. And let me say this. There are a lot of things. You did some 14 minutes there, my man. You did some 14 minutes.
Yeah,
so
but,
don't say thank you.
But Eric, they can be crispy like a problem. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, but not on this one. But let me say this. I listen to bulk of our people. Let me start with the issue of the guy who allegedly, set himself ablaze and all of that. But then, it's actually pathetic. We don't support citizens committing suicide in any form, because suicide is something that no one would support. For whatever reason that happened, security details will inform or will follow some of the issues. It's not about some of the things that our brothers from opposite Lone Star Cell and continue to say about this matter. And I don't want to delve into that, because anything that has to do with him, it pains everyone. So we are not happy about that. But on the foreign service issue, let me say this quickly. We're talking about bringing people. I said the issue is, I said some of our friends don't pay attention. Sometimes they just talk and they don't listen and they don't read and don't follow the development of their camp, maybe from a business schedule, and then decide to talk. If you follow the series of consultations and discussions that have been going on relative to people who were dumped, most especially in December in the foreign service. Bulk of these people did not report to the Bureau embassy. Bulk of these people did not report to their respective embassies. They are alarmed, because if you, like, to where I'm going right now in Abuja, if I arrive, I go to the embassy, and before I go, the Nigerian government will be notified that there's a new diplomat coming to to Abuja to be assigned. And that's because the current ambassador there is the acting president at the University of Liberia, Dr. Sakonte. So he will write the Nigerian government and say all these processes are ongoing. And when you mint all of these things, you will be welcome in the country you are assigned in keeping with international standards. So both of these people that were sent by the weird government, they did not report to the embassy. Some of them did not go through all of the processes. So that's why the Minister of Foreign Affairs, in consultation with the Foreign Relations Committee of both chambers of the legislature, decided to look at how some of the issues. That's why we noticed. It doesn't mean the Joe Biden government is like a dassical about its foreign policy, but these are some of the reforms that continue to take place.
So Jerry, you are saying here that the reform, bring it back those folks who were recruited into foreign service is
who are dumb into
maybe dumb is your choice of words. I would say recruited into foreign service. Don't you think that based on the fact that government is continuity, those individuals should remain? The government should continue operating
we cannot. For instance, we can
so that you don't come across as carrying on any form of witch hunt, Jerry.
No. The first thing, if the Minister of Foreign Affairs, even during a hearing, she did talk about foreign service reform. if they say, okay, we send our 16th and 16 staff to Abuja, and then you notice that only 6 reported to the embassy. What the other 10? We want to take start. If you go take statistics, look, listen. As I conclude on this note,
just conclude for a few seconds now because we have to go. We have time.
I know the last person this time now enjoying the rest, but I'm victim. But no problem. If you go and take your statistics and follow that, some of the people who were assigned did not actually get any record at either of the embassy around the world where we are government dumb people. And, so then the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said, no, let's hold on. Let's find out what are the issues or what the issues are for which you cannot account for X, Y, Z, and all of that. And then when we notice that you did not report to the embassy, meanwhile you're here, and then you get our diplomatic passport. And that is the reason why, if you can recall, you are a journalist. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs asked everyone who were in possession of certain passport for a specific period, they have to restore
diplomatic passport or service passport.
Of course, or service passport. So all of these things are ongoing. How then are you saying that we are lackadaisical as a government about the foreign,
I want to hold you there. I want to hold you there, Jerry.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for making your point. We appreciate you, sir. Yeah. If you still have the time, you can come on because we're doing our closing now. We're doing our closing now.
Yeah,
we're seriously out of time.
But just for 10 seconds, let me say.
But you've already exhausted.
But when LEC come back,
can he just do his closing saying he's on the phone? Nelson?
Okay, please do. Just take your time, Jerry, and do your closing just at once. Yeah.
Oh, so I'm closing. Okay, so in closing, let me say this. The government of Liberia is committed to foreign service reform, and that's why it's ongoing. But people who support the previous regime will not understand because it was not particularized during the administration. And these are some of the reasons that we get all of these things going on about you bring a person back. No, you bring a person back. That George have to come on this platform and lie that, because Jerry might go here, that why? Because he didn't get nobody there to change. He got somebody to take off. Now, Baby is right here serving at the Ministry of Information. He was the only man that was in Abuja for this time. So George needs to come out and apologize. That's the fact. And secondly, all these things, if we send you and you do all these things and say, you just go because it's saying in Washington, so you go seek asylum, like my brother April was saying, it does not satisfy the discussion. If you are sent on a foreign mission, report to the embassy, and then make sure that you are recorded so the government, because the government will pay you. We can pay you, sending government salary, taxpayer money to you, and we don't know how many persons there. Because the government, every time, these are things we are going through right now, and people like George and Basco, they are not understanding.
Thank you.
And you come here and say things.
Thank you.
And so we have to understand and come to these things. You guys were here, you scatter everything, and we are trying to straighten it. It doesn't matter of opening your mind and understanding what the issues are.
Thank you very much, Jerry. We appreciate you.
And that's the reason why you make all these reckless comments. I'll not blame you for your ignorance.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I know you want to end in violence, but you're ending peace. At all costs, you're ending peace. And Raymond enjoys these kinds of violence because Raymond is aiding and abetting the violence perpetrated by Jerry. But guys, we have to close. General Sandy, Mr. Sandy, welcome to the show. It's good to have you. I think we have to do our closing now. We're seriously out of time, so let's do 1 minute each across the table, and we can start with Toure. Toure, let's hear you, sir. If you can hear me, Toure. Toure, are you with us? You are muted.
Hello. So doing our closing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was some kind of Christmas coming in September. But Nelson gave me out 10 minutes today to few of the panelists I'm pretty sure that was not an aberration. But anyway, but look, as we come here to discuss the Liberian issue, at least for a day like today, let's try to take off our partisan caps or hat, if you will, and just look at it from a human standpoint, guys. Because at the end of the day, we're all born into this country without having any affiliation with any political parties. But as we grew and started to develop our own thoughts and our own positions into this society, we started to obviously adapt, values that we feel best fit who we are. But not forgetting about the bigger picture, which is the country. And I just feel like every time we come to have the discussion, we should always keep that center to the discussion. Yes, indeed, there are so many things happening in a country. Situation that obviously cannot be, that were not exacerbated by President George Manuel, we are former president, and stuff that JMB inherited, stuff that he too have to find a way through. And as we go through that, let's try to give the process a chance. Let's try to give a process a chance, and let us not try to start criticizing like right now. Nobody, and we are all professionals on this platform. You cannot tell me that if you inherit any sort of position in your lifetime where you're trying to have it like resemble who you are, putting your fingerprint, right, or ideas that you feel can lead that institution, it's not going to take 1 week or 2 days. No, it's like a football coach taking over a team. A football coach taking over a team, guess what? There are certain players on the team that are surplus to requirement. He don't need them because they don't meet the kind of technique that he's bringing to his coaching. Those players will consider them to be surplus to requirement. So any government coming to power, George, you know this. Vasco, you play football, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every coach comes with a certain system, and that system only sort of like attracts certain players, right? So if there are other players on the team that don't match or that don't have that skill set to implement or to enhance that coaching or that coach's playing style, those players will have to leave. It happens.
Thank you.
If we consider serving government as a privilege, it's not a right, then we should not be head bent on the fact that when someone is removed from political power, from political position, let it go and do something with their profession. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Government is not the only area, bro.
Thank you. Josh, you're closing.
Thank you, Nelson. And look, Nelson, one thing I noticed that Raymond referred to us on this platform as ignorant. And you did not say anything. You let it fly. And even though he said it in a way that made it seem that it was acceptable to this platform. But look, we come here with knowledge. I think for the mere fact that we are here tells you that we are knowledgeable to a lot of things. Most of us got careers, most of us got disciplines, and we are brighter. That's why we are here. That's why we volunteer to share our knowledge. So if Raymond sits here and calls us ignorant, and you don't say anything, but when I say someone is talking nonsense, you want to highlight it and say, oh, you move it from there, move it from there. You know what I mean? It does not give the platform any little bit of chance of being unbiased, right? Like we said, this platform is pro-government. And so those who are speaking for government, you gave them the leverage.
Which is not the reality. You know that this
that's your opinion. That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
This platform is for the Liberian people. But go ahead, George. Conclude. Do your closing.
I work for the United Nations in Liberia. I work for them overseas. Raymond cannot tell me here that he knows anything about the United Nations more than I do. So if he comes here and want to show that he knows a lot of things, talking about it can only be RR. Have you gone RR before with the United Nations? I have done that. I have gone on mission. I have even facilitated people to go on mission. I bought people tickets from here to go on mission in Sudan. I bought a ticket to go. I got a ticket in I can send it to you if you want to see it. And the person can even call you and testify that George Reader bought my ticket to go on mission. So you can't come here and want to make people to believe as if you are knowledgeable to everything, even though you don't have any iota of any information whatsoever. But look, we will give it to you guys because I think this platform is made so that people can enjoy themselves. I think it's more entertainment than it actually for information. So when you come here, you can say whatever you want to say, and people will listen to you. And even those who will already be closer to the fact, people will take them to be joke because they want to hear what they want to hear. And I think that's why Liberia is retrogressing, because people can only accept what they want to hear. They don't like the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They will tell you that they want the truth. No, they don't actually want the truth. They just want to hear what will satisfy them. And I think satisfaction is what the platform is for. So we'll satisfy you guys. But for some of us, we are not in the game of making people satisfied. We'll always say the truth. It will hurt you. It will not hurt you. But I know they say the truth can satisfy God. But here's the thing, Nelson. Tonight, I think it was a wonderful show. I got a little bit emotional because sometimes, I get carried away when I see that wrong is happening and people are, trying to be oblivious to it. It's ridiculous. So we got to say the truth at all time, in everywhere, in any circumstances, even if it makes us unpopular with people, even if it's unpopular with our family. Because even now, my family does not want me to be here on this platform. But I say no, I got to impart the little knowledge that I have into my people, so I will be here. So tonight, people can come here. My brother from Pelican can come and say, or the person who is going to replace have been, promoted and blah 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 blah. I'm not here to dispute any facts that he's going to bring. Or I do know that if you're going to be in Liberia for almost 4 months and you're appointed to a position to go to, and still you haven't gone, United Nations recruit you in 1 week, you're gone. 2 weeks maximum, you're gone. If once you are appointed, you're gone. I was appointed in Liberia. And when I was appointed in Liberia, it did not take 2 weeks. My tickets and everything got ready. I did everything and I was gone. So if you're going to be sitting in Monrovia after 3-4 months and you say you are appointed to a position, it's either the process the system is broken, or those in power don't know what they are doing. That's why it's taking all that time. So let's leave that fact. Look, you can put it on here, because I know that even in a white people country, when white men pick up go and kill people, they will say he get mental health. When a black man kill that person, they will say that terrorism. That's what it is, and what people want to believe. So you can say now the guy who brings himself is mental health. You're not consider what, man. You are not a moderator.
I'm the moderator, my man. Nelson gave me authority.
You see the space that they're in, Josh?
You don't know, my man. You don't know.
Nelson,
I'm not you got 30 seconds, my man.
Okay, give me 30 seconds. So yeah, give me 30 seconds. So the thing is that if you want to be oblivious of the fact that certain things can lead to that mental health being invigorated, and you guys want to say, oh, that mental health, the person crazy, that what the person born itself. Look, you can say the way you want to say it, but we know that there are factors that contribute to people, because every one of us here, at certain level, will have some mental issues, right? But guess what? They are not exacerbated by certain things. Certain things can trigger it. So if you are not yet to that point, nothing happens. You are normal. But once you are triggered, something will happen. Look, my wife did mental health and all these things and social working thing, and I read most books on it, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. So if we want to say, we sit here and want to say, the person crazy that way, we can say it that way. But I will tell you that thing was exacerbated by something that triggered it. That person is suffering. That person is suffering some mental issue that are exacerbated by poverty, hunger, or regret, and they are regretting for voting for this government because this government is doing nothing. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
Thank you, George. Exacerbated by hunger, poverty, lack of opportunity, something obviously that you cannot attribute to President Obaka. But Raymond, go ahead, brother. Go through your closing.
Good. How you call it, co-host? I hope you give him the same time you get Josh. Josh is my yardstick for measurement tonight.
Well, that was
the reason I spoke for the first time for as 10 minutes on the show.
All right, Ray, let's give you 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you. So, my brother Josh, self-deception, no matter how you believe it to be the truth, don't automatically become the truth. The truth can be proven, it can be tested. Opinion and beliefs don't necessarily have to be proven and tested. So, I said, anyone who works for the United Nations, the onboarding process has to be complete before they can take office. And you alluded to the same. You said your ticket came before you've left. Thank you. You exonerated me, even though you accused me previously. But in your end, the truth slipped out of your mouth without you knowing it. When I use the word ignorance, I give the caveat. I say it was not meant to demean anybody, but yet you found a way. And the definition of ignorance, it just means a lack of information and knowledge. I got information and knowledge on certain subject matter. I'm ignorant to a lot of things. If that's an insult to myself, yeah, then I insulted you to insulted myself to please you, George. My intention was not to insult anybody. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of us, and even on the issue of the foreign mission, I mentioned here that I didn't know a lot of things. All I was saying, in other words, I'm ignorant to this. But maybe some words become strong to certain people because they don't use it in their diction frequently. And I can understand that. But that doesn't mean I intended an insult. So with that caveat being said and that clarity being made, let me move on. Liberia is a third world country. All of us, all hands on deck, we need to make frantic efforts to change the narrative. It's not going to be an overnight fix. My brother Toure said it well. It's like taking over a football team that's performing badly. It's common understanding, common knowledge that it will take a period of time with frantic efforts to change the circumstances and the condition. Liberia cannot be fixed overnight. The hunger in Liberia cannot be fixed overnight. It might take even more than 6 years. But what we're urging this government for, I supported this rescue mission, and I will hold this government accountable. But I'm not going to be spewing falsehood and creating false narrative to pin the government to make them look bad in the name of politics for a failed regime called CDC to look good. No. And a lot of you, that's your motive. Because you belong to a CDC, you have to say everything negative. Only because you want to make CDC look bad and you have bitterness, the post-traumatic defeat from the elections still bothers you. It still pains you. So you have to say everything negative. But we come here to give the issues. At my opening statement today, call the government to caution, holding the government to improving the life and the condition of the ordinary people, and not a few people that came with a rescue mission that being put the positions. So those kind of things we're called it. And that's why it's called being objective. We're not subjective. So let's bring objectivity to the discourse and let us issue that the Liberian people, the people of the nation, benefits from the national coffers, from the national cake, and not the United Partisans or the rescue mission. And to an extent, I want to thank my brother Jerry, as much as we're strong on the government, all his information were accurate and factual. There are a lot of improvements that government have made, but I'm not saying that's not just enough. You're doing good, yeah, keep it up. But you need to do better. Until the condition of the ordinary people improve, you haven't struck the mark. You came to rescue the people, and this would be the indicator to ensure that the people have been rescued when their living conditions have improved. And until that happens, we'll keep calling upon you, President Boaka, reduce the salary of your people appointed in government so that money can go around for the ordinary people. So there can be money for basic services. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Vasco, go ahead, closing, brother. You got 3 minutes.
Okay, 4 minutes. All right.
Go ahead, but go ahead.
Toure, you always give this example about this rescue mission. You always switch the whole analogy to about if you are a football coach and you come take over a team and the other player not performing. I don't think you really know about soccer, about football. Before a coach come to a team, that coach already know the problem of that team. So before he get there, he will let the administration of that team know that I need this, I need that, and I need that to fill that gap when he get there. That's why you see most coaches, they don't just take job because they want to take it. They already know what they're about to do when they get there. So you came to this job. You came to us and you told us that you know everything. You have almost 30 years experience, 40 some more years experience in government. So which means if you're picking your players to form part of that team, you should know those players that when you put them in the system, they will be able to work. But you have come. The season almost going, the first phase of the season gone halfway. No result. In fact, you even performing very bad, more than the previous coach. So people start to wonder why we brought this man. This is a situation in Liberia. Why we brought this man? So that's just one point. And my next point is on Nelson. Nelson on the show. Nelson, you know, we all come here to speak on what we know, especially when it comes to Liberia. But when the rescue people speaking, you don't interrupt them to be asking questions. And one of the things those guys doing the spoon talk, I like. When there is time for someone to speak, stand up, give you the chance, you talk. Say your own. I say my own. The audience, the people who listening to us, they will get the message. But every time we try to hit on the government, that's what just come in. And I feel it's not okay, it's not right for us. It happened to Josh, it happened to me, it happened to Anthony. And I get so angry, and the reason I get angry, today I saw some kind of online platform they call no DN News, some kind of news. They're not even relevant like Spoon. I saw them on the trip.
I still got 1 minute.
My man, let me say, I saw them on the trip with the president. They were coming live from the airport. And I expect Nelson or how you call the other guy, Damone, to be also on the trip. Because this station play a major role when it comes to the rescue mission here. I saw that thing today on Jack. I said, DN News? Try with the president? And then our brother Nelson can be interrupting us when we're talking on the show. And you saw
Vasco.
You saw Nelson, let me ready you. Ready.
Vasco.
Thank you. You got lost, Nelson. You can't make it.
Wait.
30 seconds, Nelson. You make out 30 seconds.
You see, you are really jumping into it. I saw that thing today. I said, no. And I'm not talking because I saw Nelson crying after the election. And I'll bring that picture and put it on the screen. Because Nelson worked overnight for the result today that the people got.
All right, Vasco, thank you.
No. My time finished.
I mean, you're going 4 minutes, bro. I mean, you went 4 minutes. Come on, stop it.
No.
Stop it, Vasco. Raymond stop at 50. At 50. You going 55. Come on, bro.
Okay, I respect you. You're the moderator.
No, I'm being serious. Look.
Yeah, but you know, Nelson just interrupted me now. So you just want to let me
Okay, 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So, I mean, but it was a good show, guys.
All right, thank you very much. Look, at the end of the day, Vasco, you see, that's the thing. When you come to the discussion, you have to be, you yourself, you put yourself in check. You just say any coach can just take over any team, and I totally agree. But you can also say, before a coach can take over a team, the coach can already write, the coach already write the
coach should know the problem of the team.
Bro,
before you take over.
Coaches get there, then they start to buy their players. It
a double closing.
But I'm not
Yeah,
only
double
my man
cross
said I'm the host here. Wait. Hey,
we'll
Alfred,
turn that one in
go
the
ahead,
back.
bro.
You're posting in the back. You're posting in the back.
Close.
You already
Go
know
ahead,
it, then you
Alfred.
want to.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Host, for giving me the opportunity. Even though I didn't start the conversation this evening, but I like to say this, Brother Vasco, don't distract us from the conversation at hand. We were talking about, the extreme circumstances that our brothers and sisters who are sacrificing on the various missions for our country, the challenges that they are faced with. Those are the circumstances that we came to talk about and to see how the government, we can give our candid recommendation to the government to be able to move forward with some of the overhaul system that need to be put in place so that we can have a very effective foreign service. That is the conversation we are having, right? So for you to come here and try to distract us and talk about somebody going with the president to report to the country, it does not bring any relevance to the conversation we are having. However, let's go back to the conversation. Brother Turi, it will interest you to note that most of our brothers and sisters who are on foreign missions, they face a whole lot of challenges. The last time we were on the show here, just students alone in Casablanca, Morocco, they were on our show here crying for government support. This is a serious issue. So when we come to discuss it, let's take away our political party sentiment and discuss the governmental issue that's supposed to affect our people. Because these people that go on foreign service missions, they also have families back in Liberia that they are responsible for. So if you say, I'm taking myself as an example, if I was sent on a foreign mission that I am not taking pay on time, and then government get on and say, oh, come back home because the way you went to the mission, we not certify away, come back home. The first thing I will do is to seek political asylum in our country. That's the first thing I will do. Because I don't see any hope of me coming back home when government owe me my monthly salary that's supposed to come to me to take care of me and my family while I'm working for the country. When government is owe me that kind of money, do you expect me to come home because the government want me to come home? Let's be honest here, gentlemen. I will not. I will seek political asylum in our country because I want a better life. I don't want to come out of Liberia where government owe me, I've been running behind minister, deputy minister, OT, whether I will get my pay. So if I have to be bribing some people for me to get my own pay that I work for. This is the kind of country that we have. So when Brother Raymond said a terrible country like Liberia, I agree with him because we are corrupt to the core as a country. Every fabric of our country is corrupt. And it will take serious-minded patriotic Liberians to stand up, to work with the president, to work with the national legislature, to ensure that we have a complete overhaul of our foreign service so that we don't have the situation that we are having. We will not. Because when we are at that point, people will want to work in the foreign service. They will want to work in the foreign service because they can see the services that they are running into the country, where their services will be pushing our country, in the international communities. But for you to come here and say, oh, because somebody went foreign service, I'm talking about man Vasco now, and they're taking him for on job, and somebody went. No, that's not the issue. The issue here is that we have a routing system, and it will take serious-minded people to work with the president to ensure that this system is fixed. Other than that, after 6 years, we'll come out here, we'll be talking about people stealing diplomatic passport that they're not supposed to be having, they're having it. We'll come out here and be calling for resignation of director of passport. We'll be coming here and be talking about the president is not doing well, he lack a dassico and all of that. All of us, whether you are in Liberia, in government, whether you have the privilege that we have to sit on this platform to talk about Liberia, all of us need to find a way to ensure that we do the right thing, that we can build systems that can work for every one of us, not few of people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. But
well said, brother.
You want close? Yeah, man.
Yeah, so let me do my opening and my closing at the same time.
You got 4 minutes to do all of those things, my man. Go ahead.
It's gonna be less than 5.
Man, 4 minutes too much. 4 minutes too much, man.
I'm a George stop, man. I'm the hosier guy. So go ahead. You have 4 minutes, Sandy.
It's gonna be
No,
less
because
than
I gotta deal with Nelson for this. He told me from yesterday's show I was going to be the
11:01.
co-host. He told me from there. He put you there because this
11:01.
the platform that government
you
platform.
eating time.
I will get
you
him.
eating time. You eating time. Look,
Go ahead,
gentlemen,
sir.
it's good to be with you guys. Yes, I've been having a very busy week, and that's why I'm late here tonight. But let me say this. I agree with Alfred on the issue of how some of our brothers and sisters outside of Liberia that are supposed to be serving our country, how they are suffering. And this is not just a President Joseph Boakai thing. I don't think this is just a President George Weah thing. I think we can even go back to Madame Salif time, where we really haven't found a way to truly and fully support our foreign service members. And that is a shame. I mean, you guys know I was in Brussels not too long ago, and I had a first-hand experience where folks working there told me, the suffering that they are going through. That was during the transition period where we are now handing power over to President Waka, and most of the folks were not being paid. Now, President Waka came in, and the foreign affairs minister saying that there are some of our folks outside serving us that were sent there, bypassing the right procedures, or perhaps they weren't trained or they didn't go through the right process, right? So there's a complaint on that. We all know that. I think that's part of the discussion tonight. Now, I'm hearing, well, what's happening? Why are they not returning to country? Why is the government not bringing them back? And I think Alfred summed it up, right? If I were in that shoe as well, it depends where you send me. I don't know if you send me to America or want to go back to Liberia, right? Or send me even to Europe or Asia. I don't know if I want to go back to Liberia. Once you send someone outside of your country to get them back there, if it's a good country, it's very difficult. And that's why we really need to, know who we're sending and training them, giving them the necessary resources when they are even there, right? Giving them also the right training before you even send them there. Because bringing them back is very difficult. But here is my question to the government. You said that you send people out, that there is an issue with the foreign service, that the past administration sent folks there that they just basically sent them off. There was no need for them, or they didn't go through the right training, they did not go through the right processes, and they sent them there. You want to bring them back home, but you are still hiring in the same foreign service, hiring new people. Yet, those same people you're complaining about is still there. You haven't solved that problem, but you are adding up the number. Our brother Jerry, who are deeply admired and loved, you're sending him to Nigeria. Yeah, we're complaining that the foreign service have a loophole, have an issue. What can we, instead of flooding it with new people, what can we look at those that have already been assigned to the various countries? Train some of them and redirect them to serve in other places, to fill the gap, to find an equilibrium. Why can't we do that? Why do we need to put new people? My question also to them, maybe Jerry will come back tomorrow to answer this question. Has he also been trained? We're complaining that training was not done. Those folks that we're trying to bring back to the country, we say some of them were not trained. When did Jerry get his training? And I'm not hating on Jerry, but we are trying to be fair across the board. If we say CDC didn't train people, flooded the system, I want to know. And Jerry, I mentioned Jerry because he's the only person I know so far. When did he get his training? Right? We need to be balanced as a country. We don't just fire people. We find way to resolve the issue. If some of those folks we're complaining about that are in Asia, Europe, that we are sent there were not trained, But we are hiring new people. Why can't we train those people? I think that's a question the government need to answer. Or are we just interested in bringing those people back? Is that our interest? Or could we find a way to find some level of equilibrium?
30 seconds.
I hope the government can answer that.
Thank you, Sandy. All right, let's go to Anthony. My man, Anthony, keep going, coming, my man. What's your problem? Well, go ahead with your closing, my man.
I see the man just smiling. We were discussing, just smiling in the back. What you say
turn
about?
my camera off. That doesn't mean I go away. I just turn my camera off like this, and that's all. But I'm here.
All right, bro.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
But let me just say this, right? You know, sometimes we pretend to be, we want to be balanced. We want to be objective. We want to speak truth to power. We want to call a spade a spade. But we really don't call spade a spade. And that's what we do here sometimes. Let me look in the camera again and speak to the Liberian people and speak to my fellow panelists who will come here and pretend to say they want to speak truth to power when they are afraid to speak truth to power. So, yes, the president reduced his salary by 40%. That's true. This same president signed a national budget that has $11.8 million in it that going strictly to lawmaker pocket. How does it help our nation when $11.8 million could have done something good for instance, LMP, who in 14 counties today, as we speak, have no vehicle and other logistical items that they need to fight crime. But 11.8 million cannot be justified as to why this president affixed his signature on a national budget, his first ever national budget as a president, already rewarding lawmakers. In the same vineyard, he reduced his salary by 40%. So what is he trying to do here? I'm confused. Y'all help me understand, because they will say, we don't understand. We lack the understanding. How can you give away 11.8 million United States dollars to lawmakers who are already getting huge salary in the name of fighting corruption? How do you fight corruption when 900 cabinet members of your own cabinet, Mr. President, refuse to declare their asset, when in the asset declaration it said declare your asset prior, that means before you take office? It's a constitutional mandate. If you're a person that abide by rule of law, you must abide on day one, prior, before you take office. So how can you fight corruption, my people? How? If you are violating constitutional problem, something that is constitutional, you refuse to follow it. But you say you want to fight crime. But you say you want to hold people accountable. Isn't it a contradiction here, my people? Isn't it a double standard here? Isn't it bad precedence? Isn't it a bad example? How can you fight corruption when you refuse to follow the rule of law? How can you fight corruption when you are not doing what you need to do as a leader? National issue unfolding, the president is quiet. The same thing we complained about 6 years ago, that George Weah was not speaking to the nation. President Joseph Yoman Boaga, His Excellency, is quiet on national issues. We saw the situation between the police and seditions at the CDC headquarters. The president did not speak. Serious national issue happening in the country, the president is silent. Did we elect a silence in chief?
Anthony, you got 1 minute.
Silencer in chief, whatever the case may be?
So this president is reminding us of the past. That yes, indeed, President Joseph Newman Boakai is the past, not the future of Liberia, not the present of Liberia. He is the past. Because the same thing that we did last 6 years, he's doing the same, refusing to speak to the nation. Where does he stand on these things? So, folks, we deserve answer. I yield back my time.
Thank you very
But
much, Anthony. Look,
Anthony,
let me say everything about Anthony.
you did not
For
do justice to the
22
conversation
hours,
tonight. We were
Anthony
talking
has
about the
been very
foreign service.
patriotic.
What
My
is
man,
it?
you throw your own, not yet.
Hey, my man, Will, I still hosting a show.
All the bootleggers, they'll come behind you.
So guys, can I come here a bit? I beg you. Let's give
Raymond are the bootlegger in chief.
let's give Jerry 1 minute to conclude.
My man, we're not giving Jerry close. Jerry close. We're not giving no meaning yet. No, Jerry close.
Jerry says, after you think I'll come back to clear the air.
Jerry close. No, he's not saying no air. No air for
Jerry
you
is
to
not
clear.
giving me time to breathe. He's seriously on my back.
Jerry,
So, Jerry, you have
Jerry
1
got a
minute.
job, he's not
Just
taking pay.
1 minute. I hope you can make your point in 1 minute, Jerry. Please go ahead.
I mean, we all know Jerry can't make point 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Nelson. My brother Sandy, thanks so kindly for your inquiry. But probably you don't know, except as communication director for 6 years under the Unity Party government at the MCSA. I did training, I did a lot of stuff besides my master's degree at GIMPA. So you talk about training. I mean, so I'm going to serve as Minister Counselor for Press and Public Affairs. I also did a strategic course at GIMPA called International Relations and Diplomacy. That was like a whole semester that you can say a diplomat in that. So understanding all of these things.
You said 1 semester. You said 1 semester diplomat. 1 semester of being a diplomat. Or
Yes, it's intensive learning, Nelson. It's intensive learning. We got to know the different educational
no. It's
important.
It's important because it's important to have you make this clarity because we have a diverse audience following us tonight. They may not be able to interpret some of the things you're saying. So when you say 1 semester diplomat, and I'm throwing in this question intentionally so
I'm
that
saying, I was trained into international relations and diplomacy as part of requirements for mass sector management. You know, if you do a course that is compulsory to your graduation, it gave you the fair appreciation. But besides that, I have hand-on experience, 6 years as communication director of media services and all of that. So I'm not going as Minister Counselor for Press and Public Affairs, you know, as somebody who have zero knowledge. No, I'm a satisfied public discussant, and I understand these things and all of these things. You know, my role I played previously speaks to that. You know, some of these people that people were telling their girlfriends and sending their brothers away, you know, who are not qualified, who have no knowledge about what they are going to do. I mean, I'm not the kind of strange guy. I've been in
how do we know that those girlfriends were not qualified?
Yeah, I can say to you, some of those people, even if you know Brandon Dukley from OKFM, he was one of the beneficiaries of our programs, our training program, breaking high school press clubs up, and then some of the programs you can call Louis Kolo and other people who we train, who facilitated some of this work time. So this terrain I'm sent into, or I've been sent into, is not somewhere that I'm ignorant or I have no idea about. So I just need to make it clear. Maybe you don't know the role I played when I was at MCSS in managing crisis and all of that. So I have a fair appreciation of what I'm going in media relations and public diplomacy. It's not like other people who maybe have zero knowledge and don't know what they are walking into. Indeed, I know what I'm walking into. I just need it to be clear because you emphasize training. Yes, we encourage people, we respect people who did foreign service and all of that. But then there are specific areas when you are playing specific roles. It should be understood clearly that
you have understanding, you must have high experience, you should know what you are walking into. So, I mean, it's just easy to criticize anybody, but then probably you don't know.
Thank you.
Who did not know in this country that I did work with MCSS for more than 6 years as media, focused person. So, I mean, Brother Sandy, I'm not going to a terrain that I have no idea about.
Thank
There's still training needed.
Thank you.
Foreign service. There's still training needed.
Nelson,
There's
listen.
still training needed.
Nelson, listen.
Novice to foreign service. Terry novice to
I
foreign
think
service.
we should not make the debate about Jerry based on our assertions and our opinion. Not about your guy first knowledge on foreign service. We're speculating. And maybe we got agenda to defend.
Nelson, I said something on here that Jerry came to speak to debunk.
No, but we can't make the conversation about you and Jerry now, Sandy.
Yeah, but Raymond, let me speak to Nelson, please. Let me speak to Nelson.
If Nelson
it would be unfair. The man be clear, the man will have to.
I think you guys should give me all due respect to deal with this. And I'm not going to appreciate you, Anthony, saying Nelson is not here. Nelson gave me that authority. Let me deal with this. You know what I'm saying? Let me deal with this. All right? It could be you tomorrow, Anthony. It could be George. It could be Sandy, right?
If I'm given the opportunity to host, let me host the show, guys, please. Host Ture, can I get 5 seconds, please?
Ture, you know that I'm supposed to host today. You know that, right? And you are being.
Okay, look, Sandy, I'll give you 25 seconds.
Thank you.
Sandy, I got a protest. Jared will have to come out to clear his air. I don't think that is fair.
Okay, Ray. Let's Sandy just make that clarity. And then if there's any way that Jared want to come back, that obviously will be through Nelson. But Sandy, go ahead.
Thank you, Ture, and I respect that. Look, let me say this. The argument on the CDC sending folks to foreign service is based on the fact that they did not get foreign service training. It wasn't an argument that they didn't go to school, they did not acquire college degree. That was not an argument. My question was, did Jerry get foreign service training? Jerry came back to say he went to school, got degree in communication, he went to college, and that's not an argument. Folks have been arguing that George, we have picked up several people that did not get foreign service training last minute and just send them to foreign services. You can get all the degrees, which we respect, but you are required to have specialized foreign service training. The focus of foreign service training that will focus on essential international laws, foreign service specialties before you can be sent out.
That way there, Sandy.
So if President Weah did it and pick up people without putting a true foreign service training, my question is, why is it happening now?
Okay, thank you very much.
We are not questioning Jerry formal education.
Okay,
we are
Sandy,
asking whether he got foreign service training.
You're going over 2 minutes. Okay, look. At the end of the day, we understand, obviously, Sandy had a contention in that whole Jerry situation. But it's just unfortunate that Jerry is now on the platform, facing face to face.
And this is not against Jerry. This is all trying to address the whole issue across the board.
I get it.
And that's why they wanted to make it a sin.
Can I respond?
Yeah, I'll come to you, Raymond. Look,
but Raymond, you're not Jerry, man.
Yesterday.
How you want to respond?
But we're not.
Nobody talking about you.
Myself, I want to respond.
Brother, everybody putting their hand up. I saw Vasco hand up.
Everybody here will be up.
So everybody want to have a speech.
No one needs to respond to anything yet, except for Jerry. Only Jerry has been spoken about.
Nelson suggested if not going to come on the show, just end this show, then we'll come back tomorrow. Yeah, because I mean,
so that your conclusion that I should not respond.
If everybody are going back and forth,
you're not responding, Raymond.
No.
Keep your response.
Raymond,
you in charge.
Raymond,
and
go
make a
ahead.
decision.
Raymond, go ahead. You got 1 minute. Go ahead, Raymond.
1 minute.
So Sandy, on
My
the
man.
topic.
Oh
very
my
first
God.
thing, you
1
said
minute across the board. Stop it, guys. Stop, man.
Oh, 1 minute across the board. Okay.
Sandy, the very first comment you made concerning this discussion point was that the inner issue was about training, and you are completely wrong. We all follow the story. It was not only about training. There were multiple issues. The timing of the recruitment in the link doc session were one of it. The number of persons sent were none. Some of them were not having the requisite training and qualification. It doesn't mean going to the foreign service school. Even the foreign minister did not attend the foreign service school. If she can serve as foreign minister, meaning training and academic qualification from anywhere is acceptable. You don't have to go to the foreign school, hosted in the foreign ministry to serve. Once you have, and Jerry said he did a full semester into diplomacy. And you, after the man spoke, then you want to characterize him wrongly and say he didn't go because he didn't go to the foreign training. Do you know the credit hours achieved from the foreign training school and what he achieved, whether it's equivalent? We all went to education, academic institution. We know what credit hours means. So we should not come here and try, because Jerry isn't here, and try to give it a bad face. I think this is just dishonest, and we should stop the kind of spinning on this show.
Thank you, Raymond. Vasco, take your 1 minute.
Okay, look. I don't think this is how the show should be, right? Everybody have their view. Somebody come here and speak. People shouldn't be coming after them. You say your own, I say my own. That is the reason why we're here, for people to listen to us. So if your saying makes sense to the audience, they will say, yeah, okay, yeah, the other guy, I think he said something good. But, I mean, Raymond Sandy just joined the show. I mean, it was prudent that he made some points. And I be frank, yeah. The reason why we keep responding to Jerry Yimpa, if our Jerry Yimpa will not be coming on this show. Because when we talk about corruption, Jerry Yimpa is proven to be one of the corrupt persons in the United Party.
Okay, Vasco, we're not going to do that. Get away now. We're not going to do that because the men on the show. No. If you're making it kind of agree, the men are here to defend themselves.
The man get reason. The man get reason why he thinks so. He will get reason. Let me get reason.
No. Nelson always. You see, there's the thing. Vasco, I'll give you your time back, right? But guys, stop that happening on Spoon Talk. I know Vasco. He said Nelson always checking you or anything like that. Instead, don't do that on Spoon Talk. You have to understand the main politics is run by Nelson. He got his own regulations. That's his personal show. He's not going to allow him to like the way Spoon Talk is ran. All right, so they understand that. So if the men are on the show, we not see Nelson doing this thing countless times. If individuals are not on the show to defend themselves, you cannot make certain allegations on this platform where they are not here to put in check.
The men are here. The men just on the show, Jenna.
Go ahead, my man. Go ahead. You got 30 seconds to finish.
Don't tell me 30 seconds. You already told my time here. Listen, I know my reason. Listen, Jerry Yimpa posted his employment letter. When the government gave you employment letter, which means you are employed. And when you are employed, you're going to get paid. Jerry Yimpa been having a position for almost 3 months now. Nobody knows his reason why he's not in Nigeria. Jerry Yimpa came and started telling on how the in government. He was explaining to us how the pay system is accurate. The only people that can get paid in Liberia are the people who they say black their knee. So which means he's getting paid. And he's not working. And that is the point I'm speaking from.
Vasco, thank you.
You corrupt to the country. If you're not working and you're taking the country money, which means you corrupt.
Thank you, Vasco. Okay, let's go to George. George, go ahead with 1 minute, please.
Yeah, look, the foreign service as we know it is unique. And there's no way you can join the foreign service. Even here in Australia, there is a school. You can go to university and graduate and know all your book, but you have to go to the foreign service, school before you can get appointed to serve in the foreign service. There are so many details.
The foreign minister went to the foreign service school.
Ray, let
Raymond, you do this thing all the time. You do this thing all the time. No, listen. You do this thing all the time, and when people want to do it, then you want to be trivial.
Go ahead, Josh.
You want to be trivial.
The foreign minister is not serving Liberia outside of Liberia.
Yes, he's not serving Liberia outside.
I don't know how you don't know that.
I don't know how you don't know that. The minister is in Liberia.
Liberia outside of Liberia.
She's not assigned to international diplomacy.
No, that's
Raymond,
I want to send you in.
It's not assigned any country. We're talking about people that
every
go
time
outside
she
to
goes
serve,
out
that
that
live
international
outside
diplomacy for
gentlemen,
every time she goes out that international diplomacy.
You think that you alone know everything?
But you can speak for us.
Ray, guys, let her not even make any argument out of this. The foreign minister, whether she's serving a country or serving outside of the country, she controls that entity. Okay? She controls that entity. Everybody reports to her. So whether she's in a country or she's out of the country, she controls that entity, guys. She controls that ministry.
So the president has to, because the president controls the foreign ministry. So the president still has to go to the foreign school. The president has to go to the foreign school because he controls the entire ministry, entire country, outside and inside. He has to go to foreign service school.
George, go ahead.
That's not true. That's not true. So guess what? The rationale people want to put forward on the show, people can try to trivialize it, to make it to see that what you are saying, they get more idea, they get more understanding, they're more knowledgeable to things. Remember, you are not knowledgeable to anything more than everybody here. You might know some things that we don't know. We know things that you don't know as well. So just listen to us when we speak. You're the only one who can speak here. So just get it straight. The thing is that the president controls the entire country, the foreign policies and everything else. He does not have to go to the foreign service school.
Exactly.
But if you are going to serve outside the country to represent our country outside permanently, you're going to sit down there. You're not going to you're not living in Liberia. You have to attend that school because the policies and everything you have to be open to them. So let me tell you, Jerry has to have gone through that service to be appointed. If you did not go to any of that and say, I get master's degree in communication, you're not going to be there to communication. You're going to be there to represent our country, and you have to make sure that you know everything about foreign service before you go there. That's why the previous government did. They made sure that all the guys that went to the school, they graduated with certificates before they were deployed. So we should not trivialize it here. Jerry is out of line, and he must know that he has to go to that. Maybe that's why his deployment is being delayed. So then he comes straight. He's getting our money free of charge. He's not going anywhere. He's sitting down in some corner with NEC bapping an eye on him, and he's trying to say he's waiting for something to happen. Nothing is happening. You have to go to that school, and we will protest and make sure that you don't go. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, Alfred, go ahead, brother. 1 minute.
For me, thank you, brother Tui. For me tonight, I would like to stay on point. I agree with my brother George in part that the reason for the foreign service, if you all went to school and did sociology 101, you have to do that in the foreign service, because the country you are going to, you have to understand the culture, you have to understand what the people do before you are sent to their country. You can't just graduate from the university with a master's degree in communication, then they just pick you up from there and dash you to somewhere that you're going. You have no idea of where you're going. So you must have done sociology 101, which will be repeated in our foreign service school, so that when you are sent out, you will know the policy that you're supposed to follow. You will know the modus operandi of your duties and responsibilities. Okay, so for tonight, I would like to stay on point that we need a serious overhaul when it comes to our foreign service. We need a serious overhaul. There are a lot of mistakes that are being made. People are appointed based on political affiliation and they are going on foreign service. It should not be like that. It should not be like that. If we say we want our people to serve us in diplomatic mission, and that's the reason why we established the Foreign Service Institute, those that will serve our country must pass through the walls of the Foreign Service Institute. It should not be based on political affiliation. It should not be based on political party alignment. It should be based strictly on the rules that have been laid down, so that we'll not be having this conversation. Because if we will say, oh, we send people that did not have any qualification whatsoever, then why do we have the Foreign Service Institution in the first place? Why do we have it? Because if we go send somebody to Nigeria because the person comes from a political party, even though they have not gone to the school, then what kind of standard are you setting? What kind of system are you setting? Because if you don't do that, you're not building people's careers. Because I know very well that the foreign service is a whole life career that people go into, and they are there for the rest of their life. They go there with passion. So this whole issue here that being spoiled, that people has a very spoiled system. And it will take, I repeat again, it will take all of us to be able to point out those wrongs so that we can fix it together. That's what we need to do. But to come here and be, trying to attack each other on the show, the other person knows, the other person don't know, it does not offer well for the conversation. What we need to be talking about, what are the ways that the government can use to reinforce the system that everybody needs to follow? Because we talk about rule of law. That's one of it right there. We need to follow system. If we want the country to move forward, we need to follow system. I rest my case, my brother.
Thank you very much. But look, guys, this is my time, right? Let me tell you this. Being a professional setting for a very long time, and we all are, we can also agree that certain career cross paths with each other, right? If you've been around certain situation for a very long time, you can have a one or two experience, different career path that you did not go to school for, right? There are a lot of people that I know that are serving in positions. I'm talking about critical positions that they have absolutely no prerequisite record of them sitting in any classroom for these positions. You know what I'm saying? Can that be related to foreign service? Absolutely. And if we talk about somebody like a professional person that worked in government for all these years, right? That person can serve in any capacity in any country as a representative of his or her country in that capacity. I truly believe that we can name names of people that have no career or knowledge in certain career path, but become CEO or big time directors in other places. It happened, bro. And I know Sandy can agree with me on that. Especially those that are doctoring different career
Since you
paths.
mention my name, I disagree with you on the issue of foreign service.
30 seconds to state your disagreement.
On the issue of foreign service, there's a requirement. Alfred said it. Listen to what Alfred said. There's an institutionalized training you have to go through. What you're saying is true. But on the issue of foreign service, you have to go to the institute. Go through the institute.
All right, Sandy, thank you very much. So, guys, look, let me come and say something.
And Dure, that also gave you a standing. That gave you a standing as a professional diplomat. That gave you a standing because, say for example, Joe Wagai, His Excellency appointed me as minister consulate to Algeria, right? Based on political alignment. I haven't gone to the foreign service school. Do you think those guys that went through that school will respect me when I get there? Do you think so?
Well, I tell you what,
So
I don't
question
think
to
so,
you guys
but
is
also
this opinion
depends.
or is this fight? Do you know this to be a fight or is it your opinion?
No. Ray, I'm just gonna answer that question, right? I don't know
This is a
that.
fact. This is a fact. I know it for a fact.
Wait now.
Let me ask
Alfred.
Do you know it as a fight or is it your opinion?
Like I say again, Raymond, you myself will not go back and forth with this.
I'm
But the reality is that
No, I asked a question, brother. It's a discussion we having and the audience are listening.
No,
What
I
you
don't have to
just
answer
said.
you directly. I don't have to answer you directly. But what I can
No,
say
but
to
I
the
want you
question you
to
asked,
answer the question. It's not a
what
debate.
I can say to you, brother Raymond, is this: that we have to be honest here. We have to follow
Nobody say
system.
no honest. It said you know
We
what you
have to
just said.
follow
It's
system here.
Is it a fight? Is it an opinion? Don't dodge
let,
it. Be honest.
let him
Is
answer the
it honest that you
question.
asking for? Be honest. Is it a fight or is it an opinion?
So let me answer you now. Now, we have said repeatedly on the show that when it comes to the issue of the foreign service, there are a lot of challenges over there. And it needs to be overhauled. I know you will not disagree with that we need to overhaul our system. We have a bad system. So whether or not you accept my statement as a fact or opinion, that is up to you to determine whether it's a fact or it's an opinion. But what I can say to you here is that our foreign service has a challenge, and we as a people, we need to find a way to fix that system so that it can work for all of us. Right now, as we speak, all of us on the show here, one of the things that we have in our country, even when it comes to passport, to get our passport from here, you want to get your Liberian passport, it becomes a challenge for you to even have your passport. So it tells you that we have a serious gap in our foreign service that need to be fixed. So for me, I will not come here to be arguing with you, but the reality is this is a challenge that we have as a country, and we need to make sure that we can face it. Whether Mr. Barker can start the process now or in the future, whatever president that will come to begin that process, and all of us have to have the hands on deck to ensure that we have a very effective system. Thank you.
Well, guys, it's been a great
question. I wasn't
show.
arguing
It's
with
been
you.
a great show. We are seriously out of time. Honorable Toure, I want to say thank you very much for holding it down. Thank you, Mr. Josh Witter, Mr. Alfred Konowa, Mr. Jela Sende, Liberian. Thank you, the the protester. Raymond, the protester.
Gentlemen,
Thank you.
we are entitled to our opinion and our fight. We should not manufacture fights on the show. That's so wrong to the discourse and to Liberia.
Vasco, we appreciate.
He even protesting against Nelson, trying to close the show. He's still protesting.
No, but I thought they may finish the show. Sorry, Nelson. I thought the show was finished.
No, we finish. Want to say, but interestingly, Officer Johnson, I think today is his anniversary. Was it yesterday or today? Any of you guys know?
How many married?
I think it was actually yesterday.
Wait a minute. Wait. Officer Johnson married?
No, that was wedding anniversary. I think 10 years wedding anniversary.
Make it on. Close the show, then we talk all over in the backyard.
My man, stop that. The man always talk about his wife. We all have spoken to the man's wife before.
I'm just
don't make a woman not.
Raymond just sensitive to everything.
No, I mean, I'm saving the man. You don't know some women. I don't care about teenagers. Everything. Don't know what happened to our brother Francis. You know what happened to our brother Francis before they seen Jalawu put Francis in trouble on the show.
Anyway, guys, let me tell you, we still live on the show.
Day.
Let me tell you, the show is on. I want to say thanks to everyone for watching tonight. I'm calling Officer Johnson, but we're not getting him. Apparently, he's at work. But thanks to everyone.
We got it, man. Wife. Do we have his wife's picture to just acknowledge them?
Get a short chance, man, Remo. Get a short chance.
My man, they called it discussion. I was giving recommendations.
Discussion finished. That the man close this show.
No, he's not closing the show. We're trying to honor our brother. Say you don't have it in you.
And the father, matter.
Only CDC, you know. You don't even know him on relationship, interpersonal relationship.
Now you and
Nelson,
Remo
now you, my man. Yeah, your own everything. If it's not CDC, you don't want to hear it.
My man, since I've been on this show, you know you have been talking about CDC, baby.
Every day.
We discussing that, brother.
The recitation, you know. I'm suggesting the man to put the man wife in his self picture of for us to honor them. That you dare against it.
But Officer
when the last time Officer Johnson was on the show,
I gave you some glasses and all on your birthday, and you still here
because I told you, and I was here.
But I'm saying we honor you, so let's honor our brother too.
They may not want a picture to be, yeah. That's why you not telling us anything.
Remember that Joe, we are brother. When they get you something, they can talk it.
Yeah.
Oh. But I want George Weah, brother. I would not go. Don't even know I like George Weah.
So you just said that about George Weah. Wow.
No, George Weah, brother. Me, I would not drop out from George Weah.
No, the fact that he know that Weah, when he gets so much he can talk it, that's a big deal.
But we are a big deal.
But we are getting loud. When Jason you were talking, you were not allowing you were talking.
We were talking.
Exactly. Especially when you won't go against him. We won't go against him. When you don't say he gave you something, then you won't go against him. We're talking. And what Raymond doing too now?
No, they want to get teasing the man.
That's it. I want to say something. That video you can be playing when Baga had an interview with the VOA. Listen to that video. Don't be playing that video. That video can sending bad signal outside for the paper. On a serious note,
to decide what kind of thing they can play for you.
The video when you went to when you had an interview VOA, most of the things say in that recording, he's not living up to it.
All right.
So people are taking.
That's what we want George him back.
I feel sorry for him. I want this to be playing.
That's what we want to judge him back. We want hold him accountable for his own words.
But I'm very fair already.
All right, thank you, Mr. Evaluator.
You're going to take 50% to carry them on trip. 50 from Page Africa. It will be up on Monday. 50%. You just back on the other accident small group.
Get a kind of Indonesia.
Get a kind of Indonesia. And let me tell you something today. Our national team is playing on the 6th of September, brother. The national team is not on camp because they owe our LJ hotel. They're not on camp.
Joe, we had time we didn't win nothing. Football man.
No, that we don't win. Joe, we had time.
Yeah, Joe, we are sort of going to feed to play. He's sort of going to feed to play the football.
Test matches, friendly matches. Looks like we're traveling all playing friendly matches.
No, not true.
Recently,
I just saw the Honor 17 just came home. The girls' team were traveling. So what are you talking about?
Why you got Honor 17 just came home?
The Honor 17 just came home. I saw the pictures at the RIE.
Yeah, the Honor 17 went.
The travel. The girls' team just left. The female team just went. The travel.
I'm talking about the
if Honor 17
team.
If Honor 17, if the government can fund funds for Honor 17 to travel, then our national team,
the national team is playing September 6th. They're not on camp. The local team.
Okay, so guys, I find it difficult to get Officer Johnson's I'm finding it difficult to get Officer Johnson's photo up, but I think this is the only one I was able to get. This was when they got married so many years back. At the time they met a young boy, but we want to say happy wedding anniversary. A happy wedding anniversary to Officer Johnson and his wife. We wish them all the best as they
happy anniversary, Officer Johnson.
I see the man dressing a Congo man.
The Congo man, what are you talking so?
The man, I want to say thanks to everyone. It's been a great